Chapter 26:31. Zhao Zihu was really infatuated with Tao Yinan. He told Tao Yinan everything. He even dared to share this kind of secret that belonged to their successors. I don't need to say much about the Tao family's position in our 6 great families. It is far above our other 5 families. Zhao Zihu said, Qian Zhang, Sun Haoming, Li Zhang, Zhou Xuanqing, they will all be very close to Tao Zhu in order to get close to the Tao family. Of course, I am no exception. Tao Yinan smiled. She was very clear about this. If the Tao family's power was not strong enough, how could they follow behind the Tao family? Some things were self-evident. Zhao Zihu dared to say it so bluntly. Tao Yinan should really thank him. We all know very well that Li Zhang and Zhou Xuanqing are the 2 most loyal dogs behind Tao Zhu. Although I am going a bit overboard, this is the truth. Zhao Zihu said, I have no need to distort the truth. Li Zhang and Zhou Xuanqing have a good relationship with my brother. Of course, I know this. Tao Yinan said, but it is like Qian Zhang and Sun Haoming are closer to you. This is the same principle. Zhao Zihu was startled. Yinan, we are different. Qian Zhang, Sun Haoming, and I have a common hobby, so we will be closer. The 3 of them may also have a common hobby. Tao Yinan said. Impossible. The 3 of them don't play League of Legends. How can they have a common hobby? Zhao Zihu said, they are purely interested in each other, and Qian Zhang, Sun Haoming, and I are purely friends. Maybe. Tao Yinan said, but what's the point? There is no difference between me knowing this and not knowing this. Zhao Zihu said, after you know this, you should prepare accordingly. Don't wait until things are forced to you to regret it. I have nothing to regret. Tao Yinan said, some things should be mine. No one can take them away. I can't even think about it. I know you don't want to tell me too much about your Tao family's internal affairs. I just want to tell you that if there's anything I can help you with, I will stand behind you and support you, said Zhao Zihu. Tao Yinan didn't believe the man's nonsense. Even if you will offend my brother because of this, you are still willing? Humph, Li Zhang and Zhou Xuanqing like to follow behind your brother and add chrysanthemums, but it doesn't mean that I will too. Zhao Zihu said, I won't be that kind of person. If Tao Mo dares to hurt my beloved woman, I'm not afraid of offending him. Mr. Zhao, you're married. Don't you think it's too much to say that I'm your beloved woman? Tao Yinan asked. Zhao Zihu said, marriage is not necessarily love. Tao Yinan asked, what's that? It's just a kind of combination. Zhao Zihu said, a marriage without love, a marriage that exists for the sake of union, a marriage that exists for the sake of some meaning in life, will not be happy. Mr. Zhao, if your wife hears this, she will definitely be sad, Tao Yinan said. Zhao Zihu sneered, how can she be sad? She doesn't love me, but my identity and my family background. I don't love her, but her identity and her family's resources. We are a combination of each taking what we need, not a marriage of love. So what? We already have a marriage. Do you want to break it? Tao Yinan asked. It won't be broken, but it's really painful to not have love. Zhao Zihu said, because without love, there will be no mutual understanding and tolerance between 2 people. That kind of feeling will make people go crazy. If it wasn't for the Zhao family, and I was just a child of an ordinary family, I would pursue my love and my happiness even if I die. Tao Yinan said lightly, you think too much. Even you can't pursue your own love. How can a child of an ordinary family have such an opportunity? Zhao Zihu was stunned. Nowadays, if the goddess isn't sleeping next to the rich 2nd generation, then she's sleeping next to the rich 2nd generation's father. Tao Yinan said, Hua Xia's current situation is like that. How many people do you think there is love between them? It's all fake. Zhao Zihu really didn't know much about this. But I love you. I know this very well. Zhao Zihu said, I don't care so much about others, but I know my own heart. You think too much. Tao Yinan said, you already have a family, so don't have such thoughts. This isn't a good thing for you. I still hope you can understand that I'm not the kind of person who likes to get involved in other people's family relationships." Without waiting for Zhao Zihu to speak, Tao Yinan said, "Moreover, with the relationship between the Tao family and the Zhao family, Mr. Zhao shouldn't have any ideas about me." Zhao Zihu shook his head and said, "I really admire you. I definitely don't have any ideas about you. Rabbits don't eat the grass near their burrows." Tao Yinan smiled and said, "Mr. Zhao is such a smart person. You definitely wouldn't do such a brainless thing." Zhao Zihu frowned and said, "Yinan, don't think of me like that. My feelings are true. Of course, I know the relationship between our two families, and I also know the relationship between us. But, what if we agreed on a place to go out? Who would know? We only need to meet once a month." Tao Yinan sneered in her heart, and her expression also lost her patience. Zhao Zihu's motive was really too dirty. The meaning of his words was already too obvious. Go out to meet, and once a month at that. He was completely treating her as a fixed date. "Mr. Zhao, what kind of person do you think our Miss Tao is? I hope you can pay attention to your words and actions," Tao Ruhu said from the side. Just now, Zhao Zihu was still polite to the two of them. But now that he had said so much, these two people actually didn't understand the situation and stood on the side like third wheels. Zhao Zihu's patience had already been completely worn out. Zhao Zihu glared at him and said, "When I'm talking, it's not your turn to interrupt." Tao Ruhu was ashamed and angry. He was just about to say something when he was stopped by Tao Yinan. She didn't want to fall out with Zhao Zihu before the people from the other families came to Guqin Island. Zhao Zihu had always been so aggressive. Perhaps he had a bargaining chip. "You two go out first. I think there are some things that I should explain to Mr. Zhao alone. That way, we can better solve the problem." Tao Yinan suddenly changed her mind. Tao Ruhu and Tao Qiani were stunned. They felt that this matter was really inappropriate. Everyone could see that Zhao Zihu was eyeing Tao Yinan covetously. If it weren't for the two of them staying by his side, they really didn't know what this guy would do. "Miss Tao, don't you listen to what I say?" Tao Yinan said. Tao Ruhu and Tao Qiani had no other choice. They could only cup their hands and say yes, and then leave Tao Yinan's room. Seeing the two of them go out, Zhao Zihu's face also showed a smile. He knew that Tao Yinan finally understood. She should be very clear that he, Zhao Zihu, was definitely not the kind of fool who only knew how to find women. Although he had never mentioned Jiang Zixue after coming to Guqin Island, it didn't mean that he didn't think about it at all. But Zhao Zihu had roughly figured out what was going on in his heart, so he had the capital to put forward such a condition to Tao Yinan. When the two subordinates completely left, Zhao Zihu couldn't wait to get up and walk to Tao Yinan. Tao Yinan took a deep breath. Some things could only be done naturally. For the greater benefit, it was nothing for her to make occasional sacrifices. Weren't all men the same? She closed her eyes and imagined him as her Prince Charming, James Donan. It didn't matter. Chapter 26:32. Zhao Zihu smiled as he picked Tao Yinan up and pushed her against the wall. "Yinan, I knew you wouldn't reject me." "Of course I won't," Tao Yinan said. "You're such a charming man. No girl can resist your charm, right? Then let's enjoy this wonderful time together." Zhao Zihu couldn't wait to open Tao Yinan's clothes with his big hands. Tao Yinan suddenly pressed down with both hands and grabbed Zhao Zihu's wrists. "Of course, but you should give me a clear reason so that I can enjoy myself easily, right?" "Okay, I'll give it to you." Zhao Zihu said, "You haven't settled Jiang Zixue's matter. You gathered the people from the other 5 families here to share the responsibility of the Empress's punishment. So, can you enjoy the gentleness I bring to you easily?" Zhao Zihu was indeed a shrewd person. Not only was he clear about everything, but he also specially asked the people who came with him to protect her secretly. When the time came for the big families to gather people to deal with Jiang Zixue, Zhao Zihu could use the reason that he didn't have any attendants to escape from this big event. You're really too smart, Tao Yinan said. Zhao Zihu smiled slightly. Aren't you the same? Hee hee. Don't worry, as long as you promise me, I'll cooperate with all your plans and help you rot in my stomach. Tao Yinan's lips curled into a sneer. If it weren't for this, Zhao Zihu wouldn't have the guts to say these things to her. I know that what I'm doing doesn't seem to be an honorable thing, but if I don't do this, how can I get close to you? Zhao Zihu said, when I say that I love you, I really mean it. If you really love me, then help me settle Jiang Zishue, Tao Yinan said. But you didn't do that. Ha ha ha. Yinan, you really know how to joke. While I love you, it doesn't mean that I don't love myself. I also love myself. Zhao Zihu said, how can I throw myself into an abyss of eternal damnation? Sometimes, being too smart isn't necessarily a good thing. Tao Yinan's smile was completely unpredictable. Zhao Zihu didn't care so much. He lifted up Tao Yinan's clothes. Being too smart might not be a good thing, but today is definitely a good thing. Zhao Zihu was not polite at all. He quickly took off Tao Yinan's clothes, and he did not hesitate to take off his clothes. Their bodies landed heavily on the huge double bed and tangled together crazily. Although Tao Yinan didn't like Zhao Zihu and had no interest in men like Zhao Zihu, she could still get into character very quickly. The two of them went crazy for more than an hour. Tao Ruhu and Tao Tianyi, who were standing at the door, knew very well that something would happen after they came out. However, this was their master's arrangement, and they could only accept it. Although the two of them really did not understand the meaning of this arrangement, what was done could not be undone. After making love, Zhao Zihu lay on the bed contentedly. Looking at Tao Yinan putting on her clothes in front of him, he had a kind of inexplicable happiness. The woman he had coveted for 10 years finally satisfied him in bed today. If it wasn't for the fact that he didn't pay attention to his body these years, Zhao Zihu would definitely do it for another hour. Yinan, I really didn't expect your bed skills to be so good. Zhao Zihu said, I'm afraid that there will be no woman who can let me find this happiness in bed in the future. Can I take this as a compliment? Tao Yinan said, you're not bad. At least you're not like most Asian men, who are like newspaper delivery men, casually shoving it in and leaving. Zhao Zihu was startled. Yinan, if you're not happy, I can give you all this. We can continue for a long time. Really? Tao Yinan said. I'm not like some Asian men. Zhao Zihu said. Do you know why I don't like Hua Xia men? Tao Yinan said, saying that he's like a newspaper delivery man is a compliment. He's like a milk delivery man, leaving at the door. Do you understand what I mean? Zhao Zihu nodded. He thought that such a good woman was really wasted by those milk delivery men and newspaper delivery men. Then what am I like? Zhao Zihu looked forward to it. You're like the engine cylinder that delivers power. Tao Yinan said, is this a compliment? Of course, this compliment is definitely the most appropriate compliment I've heard in my life. Zhao Zihu grinned. Tao Yinan had already put on her clothes. If there's nothing else, I hope we can talk. You can rest assured that I know what you want to say. I won't reveal your plan to anyone. Zhao Zihu said, even if it's Chen Zhang, Sun Haoming, who have a good relationship with me, I won't say a word of nonsense to them. Tao Yinan nodded. This was good. As long as it didn't ruin her plan, anything could go on. I believe that as long as we cooperate with each other, the final trouble of this matter won't fall on the Tao family or the Zhao family. Zhao Zihu said, and we can kill with a borrowed knife, and put the trouble on Li Zheng or Zhou Xuanqing. Tao Yinan didn't say anything. The two of them are so close to the pottery sculpture. They're not good for you. Zhao Zihu said, if you can take this opportunity to get rid of one of them, it's a good thing for you. Is it really for me? Tao Yinan said, our relationship is like this. You might as well say it directly. What did Li Zhang and Zhou Xuanqing do to offend you? No. I'm afraid they don't deserve to offend me. Zhao Zihu said, I'm thinking for you. You're still not willing to tell me the truth. Tao Yinan smiled slightly. If you don't believe me, then our relationship is over. Zhao Zihu was stunned. If you think you have something on me, you can go and tell them. Tao Yinan said, but I'm just afraid that if Li Zhang and Zhou Xuanqing know that you want to harm them, will they make the first move? Zhao Zihu gritted his teeth. Besides, they're close to the Tao family now. They've already cleaned up the Jiang family once. If they want to clean up the Zhao family now, I'm afraid it'll be easy for them, Tao Yinan continued. Without waiting for Zhao Zihu to speak, she turned around and sealed his mouth with her hand. Although Tao Zhu doesn't have much trust in me as his sister, if he knows that I was forced by you, I'm afraid he can use this reason. Tao Yinan said, Zhao Zihu, we can't push each other away now. After hearing this, Zhao Zihu's face turned completely green. Tao Yinan stood up. If you don't mind, you can also stay in my room today. But I can't guarantee that others won't notice it when they come. Zhao Zihu and Tao Yinan were both very scheming and shrewd people. Today they could be considered to have dealt with the same person, and each of them had achieved their own goals. To put it nicely, this was a win-win situation. But to put it bluntly, this was called no one gained any advantage. This was the truth. Both of them did what they did now to take advantage of each other, and now they both paid the price. Therefore, it could be said that neither of them gained any advantage. Zhao Zihu knew that it was impossible to continue lingering tonight. But then again, he was no longer so interested in what he got. Women are all the same. What's so special about them? Zhao Zihu comforted himself. Chapter 26:33. Everything was as Jiang Zixue had expected. On the second day after Zhao Zihu came to the Guqin Island, the others arrived one after another. Qian Zhang and Sun Haoming arrived in the morning, while Li Zhang and Zhou Xuanqing arrived before noon. The younger generation of the 6 families had all gathered together. What made Li Zhang and Zhou Xuanqing somewhat uncomfortable was that Tao Yu didn't come. The representative of the Tao family was Tao Yinan. It was normal for them to feel uncomfortable. After all, Tao Yinan wasn't the successor of the Tao family. But because they had just met, they didn't say much. Zhao Zihu was a little older among them, so he talked more. However, within the 6 great clans, the power of one's voice was not determined by age. Instead, it was determined by the clan's influence. The strength of the Zhao family was not much different from that of the other families. Everyone was about the same, so no one was willing to listen to his command and arrangement. In the end, Tao Yinan gathered them in a luxurious private room in the restaurant of the hotel on the grounds of the hospitality of the host. When everyone arrived, Jin Hong knew that there was no reason for him to continue staying here. The people from the 6 great families, including their personal subordinates, totaled nearly 20 people, and all of them stayed at the Intercontinental Ocean Hotel. Lin Ji's mouth twitched. He had really seen this kind of extravagance. Those who came were all experts with some strength. Seeing so many people at once, anyone who saw them would feel a headache. After returning home, Lin Gu put the current crisis on the table. Brother, the younger generation of the 6 families all have some skills, and the masters around them are not simple. We may really be in trouble this time. From the beginning when Zhuo Langyue threw this matter to Su Yun knew it wouldn't be so easy. Now when the trouble was really hanging over their heads, it was really difficult to deal with. It's really troublesome. Su Yun said, but we still have an advantage now. They seem to be joining hands, but no one will really work hard when the time comes. Jin Hong nodded. This is a matter of not working hard. I believe each of them knows better than the other. That's why we'll let them mess around first. After they're done messing around, we'll slowly play with them. Su Yun, I believe Tao Yinan isn't having a good time right now. Of course not. Jin Hong said, the pressure from several aspects will be directed at her. It all depends on how she explains it now. If she doesn't explain it well, I'm afraid that things won't develop in the direction she wants. Su Yun nodded. We can only wait and see what kind of tricks they can play. Lin Gu smiled slightly. Who cares what kind of tricks they have up their sleeves? Since they dare to cause trouble here, we'll teach them a lesson. Give them time to deal with it internally. Su Yun said, we should be more careful these few days. Don't let them track us. Once they find out where Jiang Zishue is, they might do something desperate. Zhao Zihu is the biggest threat. Jin Hong said, he's the only one we didn't see with his entourage. Lin Gu sneered, it seems that he's very confident in his own strength. No, he can't be such a self-righteous person. Jin Hong said, the people who came this time are the heirs of several families. If they weren't cautious enough, they wouldn't be in their positions today. Su Yun understood Jin Hong's meaning. His people are all in the dark. We need to be vigilant at all times. Zhao Zihu must have his own ideas. Jin Hong said, although we haven't figured it out yet, he is indeed a person who can't be careless. Now, the people of the 6 families had gathered at the Intercontinental Ocean Hotel, and their subordinates had a comprehensive surveillance of the entire hotel. If Jin Hong and the others hadn't left in time, they might have been exposed. They wouldn't let go of anything suspicious. This was their principle. In the most luxurious Chinese restaurant room in the Intercontinental Ocean Hotel, Tao Yinan sat in the main seat, and Zhao Zihu sat in the main guest seat without hesitation. Zhao Zihu knew that his behavior would inevitably make Li Zheng and Zhou Xuanqing unhappy, but he wanted to make them feel unhappy. Brother Zihu, you're really early. Li Zheng already had a hidden meaning in his words. We arrived today. Will we hinder Brother Zihu from doing something private? Zhao Zihu sneered in his heart. The private matter he wanted to do had already been resolved yesterday. Trash like you can be envious. What private matter can I have? I just feel that this matter is too important for our 6 families, so I couldn't wait to rush to Huaxia. Zhou Xuanqing also laughed. I thought Brother Zihu couldn't wait to see Miss Tao. Ha 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 ha. Li Zheng laughed without hiding it. Xuanqing, you can't say this carelessly. If Tao Zhu hears this, she really comes to find trouble with Brother Zihu. That won't be easy to deal with. You guys really know how to joke. Chen Zheng smiled. You came a day early for Miss Tao? Then if we didn't arrive today and you arrived first, wouldn't you also say that you have some thoughts about Miss Tao? Chen Zheng, don't talk nonsense. Li Zheng was unhappy at that time. Sun Haoming said lightly, look at you, I was just joking with you and you fell out. Weren't you talking nonsense just now? I didn't see Zihu fall out with you. Yo, you can't be feeling guilty, right? Chen Zheng continued. Seeing that Li Zheng's expression was really ugly, she said disapprovingly, only the magistrate is allowed to set fire, but not the common people. This matter doesn't work well with me. The meaning of these words was directly thrown to the face. Only you, Li Zheng, are allowed to talk nonsense, but I, Chen Zheng, am not allowed to make a joke? Alright, joking is joking. Everyone, please don't hurt the harmony. Zhao Zihu smiled and smoothed things over. Tao Yinan also spoke. I, the one who was joked by you guys, haven't said anything yet, and you guys are already arguing? Hee, we are all men. Why are you so narrow-minded? I, a woman, don't care. Only then did Li Zheng put away his anger. Miss Tao, you don't care, but it doesn't mean that I don't care. Then you still have the nerve to joke with me? Tao Yinan said. Must I stand up and slap the table to fall out with you? Are you satisfied? Tao Yinan's words made Li Zheng completely unable to refute. Li Zheng was in the wrong. He was the one who started this matter first. Zhou Xuanqing took advantage of the fact that the fire had not burned him and quickly changed the topic. All right, we haven't gathered together for a long time. Let's toast and drink together. The pottery figurine is not here, but it can't be considered complete. Zhao Zihu said, this glass of wine, it doesn't matter if you drink or not. Zhou Xuanqing's face was lost, and he could only swallow his anger. All right. It's fine if you don't drink. If you don't drink, then let's talk about the business that we came here for today. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone's attention was focused on them. Zhao Zihu, who was the only one who knew, also looked at Tao Yinan with a smile. He wanted to see how she wanted to solve the current problem. Tao Yinan said calmly, "Let's talk while eating. Since we are already here, we don't have to worry about these few minutes, right?" After that, Tao Yinan signaled a waiter to serve the dishes. The Chinese food of the Intercontinental Ocean Hotel was still very famous. There was tyrant flour stewed with ginseng, Jiuqian wing soup, 5 grains boiled live abalone, coconut milk stewed with peach gum, rock sugar bloodbird's nest, orchid bear paw, imperial Buddha jumps over the wall, braised deer tendon, emperor Wan Fu meat. Tao Yinan believed that these things were enough to shut their mouths and let them be quiet for a while. Chapter 26:34. However, they were all young masters from big families, who didn't have a few excellent Chinese chefs at home, so these things weren't new to them. The only difference was that these things were eaten in Huaxia. Perhaps it felt more authentic. In the process of the 6 people eating together, they never raised their glasses together once. This completely showed the fact that they didn't get along well on the surface. Tao Yinan didn't raise her glass either. She didn't want to cause such embarrassment for herself. If anyone wanted to have a drink with her, she wouldn't refuse, but don't expect her to toast. Even if she wasn't representing the Tao family, she wouldn't raise her glass, not to mention that she was more or less representing the Tao family now. The Tao family's status was also higher among the several families. "This is the best hotel I can find on Qingdao. I don't know if the things here are to your taste," Tao Yinan said. Li Zhang didn't pick up the topic but interrupted directly. He didn't want to waste time listening to nonsense. "Miss Tao, it's almost time to talk about business, right?" Of course, Tao Yinan said. "I invited you all here today to talk about serious matters." "Then don't waste time." Zhou Xuanqing also said, "Although the chef here is good, he may be worse than my Chinese chef." "Is that so?" Tao Yinan said, "Then I must visit when I have the chance and try the best Chinese cuisine." Zhou Xuanqing was proud when he heard this. "Of course, no problem. Miss Tao, as long as you want to go, just say the word." Li Zhang secretly gave Zhou Xuanqing a look, indicating that he shouldn't be led astray by Tao Yinan's words. Only then did Zhou Xuanqing come back to his senses. Zhao Zihu smiled knowingly. He thought that Tao Yinan really knew how to change the topic. In just a few words, she brought the topic to Zhou Xuanqing. "Miss Tao, let's talk about the Jiang family's Jiang Zishue." In order not to digress, Zhou Xuanqing directly tore the topic apart and said, "We only want to talk about this topic now." Jiang Zishue. Tao Yinan smiled and said, "That's right. I invited you here to talk about Jiang Zishue. What else is there to talk about?" Sun Haoming said, "Aren't people already under Miss Tao's control? The Tao family did this so perfectly. We really admire them." Chen Vang also said, "That's right. Miss Tao is really a military Mulan, a heroine among women. We are ashamed of our inferiority." "Please don't say that," Tao Yinan said. "I really don't dare to accept it. Miss Tao, you don't have to be modest. Tell us about Jiang Zishue." Zhou Xuanqing said, "That's why we're here. Can you stop making excuses?" Zhao Zihu smiled slightly. "Why are you all so anxious? The matter has already been resolved. There's no need for you to be so aggressive, right?" Li Zhang shook his head. "This can't be said to be overbearing. Brother Zihu's words are a little too serious, right? One girl has already done so much. Shouldn't we give her more support?" Zhao Zihu said, "Let Miss Tao organize her words before giving us this surprise." "Why not?" "Miss Tao, it's not that I'm deliberately challenging Zihu. I just feel that there's nothing to think about this matter." Li Zhang said, "What's Jiang Zishue's situation now? Where is she? Is she dead or alive? It's very simple to state the problem." Tao Yinan shook her head. "It's not as simple as you think." "Then what's the matter?" Li Zheng frowned. Tao Yinan's words sounded a little off. "I don't know what's Jiang Zishue's situation now." Tao Yinan spoke the truth. Other than Zhao Zihu, No one else present had expected such a situation. Their expressions darkened. In order to cooperate with the atmosphere, Zhao Zihu also tensed up his face. What the hell is going on? You don't even know what's going on with her, and you're telling us that you've already controlled her. Zhou Xuanqing could not sit still. He knew very well what this meant. Now, he was also angry. He was angry that Uncle De had sent them a notice without figuring it out. Miss Tao, you really have to explain this matter to us. Qian Zhang was also a little flustered. We're not here to help you with anything. I know that everyone's feelings are very complicated right now. Similarly, I'm also very complicated. Tao Yinan said, regarding Zhang Zishue, I almost found her. But now, there's a small mistake, so I hope that everyone can help me. Miss Tao, you've really tricked us, Zhao Zihu said. Tao Yinan smiled. I can only say that I didn't do it on purpose. But now, my situation has forced me into a corner. I can only do this to solve the problem. You call this solving the problem? This is called bringing about problems. Li Zhang said, we originally had no problems and no trouble. But when you brought us to Huaxia, our problems immediately increased. Tao Yinan said, I've said it before. I had no choice. Li Zhang took a deep breath. The problem regarding Zhang Zishue belongs to the Tao family. There's no doubt about that. Why should we get involved? Of course, you have the right to get involved. Tao Yinan said, Zhualangyue has already interfered with Zhang Zishue's matter. Whoever does this will bring trouble to them. Everyone is very clear about this point. That's why you all hid so far away. That's why this matter is in my hands. The few of them didn't speak again. Originally, I wanted to deal with this matter alone. But now, I have no way to deal with it. Tao Yinan said, the Empress's people have already targeted me. So, I don't have a chance to make a move. I can only let you all come here to discuss who should take over this matter. Hearing this, the few of them sucked in a breath of cold air. Even Zhao Zihu was somewhat unable to remain calm. He's already been targeted? Then why did you ask us to come here? Li Zhang was thoroughly annoyed. Of course, it's to deal with the Zhang family's final matter. Tao Yinan said, cut the weeds and eliminate the roots. The atmosphere at the dining table was very tense. No one knew what to do next. Now that I don't have a chance, I hope that someone can finish this matter. Tao Yinan said, did I make a wrong decision? Then you should make it clear. Sun Haoming was also very dissatisfied with this matter. If I make it clear, will you all still appear here? Tao Yinan asked back, I believe that if I make it clear, there will be no one here today. Tao Yinan was right. No one would be willing to shoulder this matter. Emptiness was a definite result. I know very well what each of you is thinking. Tao Yinan said, that's why I came up with this plan. You can do this, but there's no need for us to agree to help you. Li Zhang said, this matter is your Tao family's matter. It has nothing to do with my Li family. Is that so? Tao Yinan said, perhaps not previously, but now, I'm afraid it already exists. What exactly do you mean? Li Zheng's reaction was very big. He knew that their Li family couldn't withstand Zhualangyue's torment. Tao Yinan said, Zhualangyue's people have already targeted the place where I'm staying. So, I'm afraid that everything that happened between you all and me has already been discovered. Li Zhang took a deep breath, but he still stubbornly said, so what if they know? I will leave now. This is my freedom. You all can do whatever you want to do. As long as you leave, we will finish this matter cleanly and shift the responsibility to you. Tao Yinan said, do you understand? Li Zhang was petrified in his seat. Chapter 26:35. Obviously, Tao Yinan's words shocked everyone present. Even Zhao Zihu didn't expect Tao Yinan to dare to do this. This kind of threat was too sudden, and they couldn't figure it out at all. Therefore, they were more shocked than frightened. Li Zhang couldn't calm down for a long time because he couldn't believe that Tao Yinan would say such a thing. Such a straightforward threat was too surprising. I don't care if you can figure out the current situation or not, but I've made it very clear. Tao Yinan said, every one of you who came to the hotel to look for me must have been seen by Xuelangue's people. No one is an exception. Everyone from the 6 great clans has a part to play in this matter. Miss Tao, you've gone too far. Zhou Xuanqing said, you've set a trap for us. Tao Yinan shook her head. Don't make it sound so unpleasant. I just hope that the 6 great clans can share some responsibility. That's all. Zhao Zihu swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Miss Tao, you've really fooled us this time. We're all gathered together. No matter who does it, the responsibility is shared. Tao Yinan ignored Zhao Zihu. Just like cleaning up the Zhang clan, the responsibility is shared by everyone. Even Xuelangue won't act rashly. Miss Tao, the Empress didn't act rashly? The 5 great war gods all stood up. Our Sun clan suffered a serious loss that day. Sun Haoming said, do you know? Tao Yinan asked in reply, do you know how much our Tao clan lost? Everyone fell into silence again. No one had expected that they would be involved in such a quagmire. It was impossible to escape unscathed now. I won't stop anyone who wants to leave. Tao Yinan said, but what I said just now also counts. I believe the others won't object to pouring dirty water on others, right? Li Zhang clenched his teeth. Even though he was gnashing his teeth in hatred, there was no other way to change the current situation. I didn't mean to make things difficult for the Li clan. Tao Yinan said, please don't mind. Then what do you want us to do? Li Zhang said, why did you ask us to go to Qingdao? Since we've already made things clear, let's not drag this out any longer. Tao Yinan raised her wine glass. Since we've reached an agreement to shoulder this responsibility together, let's have a toast. This was the first time Tao Yinan had mentioned wine, and this time, no one dared to not raise the wine glass in front of them. No one wanted to be pushed into a special position, and no one wanted to be isolated. And now, everyone was well aware that one of them would be used. Zhao Zihu didn't mind at all. He knew his own position. Other than Li Zhang and Zhou Xuanqing, who weren't very compatible with him, he could handle everyone else. At that time, as long as he convinced Zhou Xuanqing to consider the overall situation, he believed that he would betray Li Zhang. In the face of such interests, no one would be stupid enough to do anything stupid. As long as they had the chance, they would definitely get themselves out of this crisis. Our 6 great clans will share this responsibility? Li Zhang wasn't stupid and could sense the danger he was in. What if the Empress wants us to find a scapegoat? Tao Yinan said, don't worry, my subordinate is very loyal. He will be our scapegoat. Who are you talking about? Li Zhang didn't believe her. Tao Yinan clapped her hands, and Tao Tianyi, who had been standing guard at the door, pushed the door open and walked in. It's him. Tao Yinan said, my subordinate will do everything he should do. If you don't believe me, I can make him promise in front of everyone here. Tao Tianyi took a deep breath. I will put an end to this matter. With these words from the Tao family, Li Zhang felt relieved. This way, if Xuelangue were to blame them, they could push this person out and it wouldn't have anything to do with them. With this, all of you can rest assured, right? Tao Yinan said. Everyone didn't have any objections and raised their wine glasses one after another. Zhao Zihu's gaze didn't leave Tao Tianyi. He thought in his heart, if this was the decision, why did Tao Yinan need to gather all of them here? This was obviously superfluous. If she had asked him to do it, he would have done it. If she gathered all of them and then all of them went together, he would still be the one to do it. In the end, it would still be his Tao family's matter. The matter had taken a big turn, but the result was still the same. This was obviously not Tao Yinan's style of doing things. There must be something fishy about this matter. Zhao Zihu had already come to this conclusion. He had been observing Tao Tianyi all along. Tao Tianyi's face was ashen. Obviously, This wasn't what he wanted to do. Moreover, his expression clearly showed that he was going to walk the path of death even if he knew it was a dead end. What was the reason for this? Zhao Zihu pondered for a long time, but still couldn't figure it out. He is very clear about Jiang Zishue's situation on Guqin Island. Tao Yinan said, moreover, he also knows who is protecting Jiang Zishue. However, the other party isn't so easy to deal with. Therefore, I gathered everyone here for another reason. Each of you has as many experts as there are clouds in the sky. This can also strengthen our strength. To put it bluntly, everyone had to contribute people. I will let him lead everyone to do this. Tao Yinan said, you all know that I still have one subordinate, but he is injured and is useless. Zhao Zihu shrugged his shoulders. Before I came, I thought everything was settled, so I wasn't prepared at all. Phew, I didn't bring anyone. Brother Zihu, it doesn't matter if you don't bring anyone. I can participate in this operation with you. Li Zhang suddenly said, it can't be that the people of the Zhao family don't show up, right? Zhao Zihu's expression changed. He really didn't expect Li Zhang to say such words. It's obviously not appropriate for you to do things with your subordinates. Li Zhang said, so I will accompany you. Since Li Zhang had already said such words, how could Zhao Zihu have the nerve to say no? I think Li Zhang is right. If no one from the Zhao family participates in this matter, then it will be too disharmonious. Zhou Xuanqing said, since we are all going to participate in it, then we should also participate in it. No one should push themselves out. Tao Yinan smiled slightly. I agree with this statement. With these words, what else could Chen Zhang and Sun Haoming say? Stand up and oppose? Was there any meaning? Out of the 6 people, 4 of them agreed. Although Zhao Zihu was against it in his heart, he could only brace himself. Since he was already standing in this position, what else could he do? I have no objections. As long as everyone acts together, then there is no problem. Sun Haoming said. Chen Zhang smiled bitterly. There was no other way but to accept it. Then we have decided on this matter. Tao Yinan said, after drinking this cup of wine, we can't change our minds anymore. Who could still change their minds? Things had already come to this point. Zhao Zihu was also dragged into the water, but he really couldn't understand. Although everyone was dragged into the water, Tao Yinan herself couldn't get rid of it. Tao Yinan herself was also in this quagmire. What was the point of her doing all this? How could a smart person do such a thing? Zhao Zihu was puzzled. He really wanted to open Tao Yinan's brain and see what was in it. After drinking this cup of wine, everyone began to think of their own countermeasures with their own ulterior motives. No one wanted to become the passive party in this matter. If they wanted to seize the initiative, they could only rely on themselves. Chapter 26:36. Tao Yinan's heart was also filled with displeasure. She was displeased that she was also dragged into it. If it weren't for Zhao Zihu's scheming and not letting his men show up, they wouldn't have been dragged into this matter at all. Then, all her plans would have been completed. But because of Zhao Zihu's little scheme, they were all dragged into this. In this way, when Tao Qianni committed suicide, she, Tao Yinan, would still be at the scene, and the Tao family would still have no way to get rid of the suspicion. Damn it! Tao Yinan cursed in her heart angrily. How could she deal with this matter again? This was the biggest problem Tao Yinan was facing now. At this point, she could only take one step at a time. If she said that she wanted to get out now, the others would definitely not be fooled. No one was stupid enough to do that. This was also Li Zheng's shrewdness. Because he was already in the most disadvantageous situation, he might as well let this disadvantageous situation come more fiercely, making it easier for him to pull the others down. In this way, everyone would be together, and the starting line would be even again. There would be no situation where anyone's situation would be worse. These guys were all masters of scheming. In this situation, no one would lose to anyone. It was really one more master than the other. During this meal, everyone felt particularly tired. No one dared to say a word rashly, and no one dared to do anything rashly. Waiting until the end of the meal, Zhao Zihu finally found an opportunity. He walked to Tao Yinan's side and asked in a low voice, "You have no way to get out like this. What is your purpose?" "I didn't expect things to develop to this point." Tao Yinan said, "You can only blame yourself for not letting your men show up until now. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened." "I let my men show up? What a joke. I didn't intend to get involved in this matter from the beginning," Zhao Zihu said. "But now, you can't get out even if you want to." Tao Yinan sneered, "If you get out, even if I don't say anything, I believe that Li Zheng and the others will pour dirty water on you. I believe that he is now worried that there is no one to frame." Zhao Zihu almost broke his back teeth. A woman's heart was really the most vicious. Yesterday, she could still accompany him in bed, and today, she turned hostile. "I tell you, Tao Yinan, this is not good for any of us. I hope you can think of a solution as soon as possible," Zhao Zihu said. Tao Yinan snorted, "If you have the ability to save yourself, then save yourself. I have no way to help you." Zhao Zihu's embarrassment turned into anger, and he left. He was extremely dissatisfied with today's matter. The situation had completely changed in an instant. He had no advantage at all. The affairs of the world were truly unpredictable. Working with these people, who knew how many brain cells he would have to lose? "Even if I have a way to save myself, I won't tell you," Tao Yinan thought to herself as she looked at Zhao Zihu's departing figure. Speaking of which, what could she do to save herself? The current situation was probably a lot more difficult than what she could control. However, no matter how hard Tao Yinan racked her brains, she couldn't think of any other solution. Damn! As the mastermind of the whole thing, she actually fell into this kind of trouble. All the plans were originally so flawless, but because of Zhao Zihu's little scheme, everything was ruined in an instant. Tao Yinan still felt disgusted when she thought of yesterday's matter. If she wasn't worried that he would expose everything, how could she roll in the sheets with him? "Miss Tao, what should we do now?" Tao Tianyi asked cautiously behind Tao Yinan. Actually, the only one who benefited from this matter should be Tao Tianyi. At least now, he had the possibility to change the situation. Tao Tianyi really hoped that Tao Yinan could tell him now that the plan had changed, and he didn't need to make any more sacrifices. But Tao Yinan didn't let go. "I also don't know how to do this, but you should still be prepared at all times. I will think of another way. Miss Tao, if I still follow the original plan, then there is no meaning at all," Tao Tianyi said. Tao Yinan took a deep breath. Of course I understand what you mean. If I go with you, of course you can't follow the original plan." When Tao Tianyi heard this, he took a deep breath, and his heart that was hanging in the air slightly relaxed. "But," Tao Yinan's tone changed, "if I can think of a better solution that can avoid this operation, then you can still follow the original plan." This plan was the best plan Tao Yinan could think of, so she didn't want to make any changes. She could only think of a way to get herself out of this. Only by getting herself out of this would she have a chance to protect herself. At this moment, Tao Yinan didn't care about anyone else. What 6 great clans' interests, what Tao family's interests, none of it had anything to do with her. She only wanted her own interests. If she couldn't even guarantee her own interests, then what other interests were there to talk about? Tao Tianyi's heart was hanging in the air again, and the hope that he had seen with great difficulty was once again obliterated. He knew that his life was still hanging by a thread, and he couldn't think of any other way to solve this matter. If he wanted to live, he could only listen to the arrangements of fate. At this moment, Tao Tianyi really hoped that Tao Yinan could participate in this operation with him. With Tao Yinan, he would have a life. After Tao Yinan returned to her room, she closed the door with a gloomy face, and didn't say a word. After thinking deeply, she finally thought of the only way, and that was to let Su Yun appear. As long as Su Yun stopped her on the day of their operation, then it would give her a reason. At that time, no one would be able to say anything, because at that time, her role would be to restrict Su Yun, and they could only suffer in silence. Moreover, at that time, Tao Qianni would still be with them, and they would have a little bit of peace. At that time, when Tao Qianni died, they understood that all of this would have no meaning. How to let Su Yun appear in front of her at a suitable time, this was the most important thing. Tao Yinan narrowed her eyes, and looked out the window at the heavy traffic downstairs. How should she set up the trap? Tao Yinan was very distressed. She thought that she had met many opponents, but Su Yun was the most difficult one for her to figure out. She had never met a guy like Su Yun, and she still couldn't understand him. She didn't even have the slightest understanding of him. Phew! She thought that although the trip to Huaxia was troublesome, there wouldn't be so many difficulties. But now, she found that she was wrong. There were really too many difficulties. Tao Yinan looked back at the bottle of red wine that Zhao Zihu had given her. She didn't know if the expert behind Zhao Zihu could be used as a chess piece. Perhaps this was the only reason that could attract Su Yun's attention. Although Tao Yinan didn't know whether Su Yun knew that the people of the 6 big families had come to Guqin Island, she was sure that Su Yun was paying attention to her movements at all times. After all, she was a huge threat to Su Yun on Guqin Island. Chapter 26:37. How Tao Yinan could make herself more of a threat in Su Yun's heart became the key to her success in solving this matter. As long as she became more of a threat to Su Yun would definitely not be able to suppress his inner impulse. Tao Yinan was very sure of this. Su Yun had already taken the initiative to look for her twice. Tao Yinan thought, this time it should be her turn to take the initiative to look for him, right? Of course, surprises should be given to each other. She hadn't had time to digest the surprise that Su Yun gave her last time. This time, she should return the surprise to him. Once she had a plan, Tao Yinan immediately went into action. She quickly changed her clothes and quickly went out without telling anyone what she was going to do. Tao Yinan left the Intercontinental Ocean Hotel and rushed to the Sky Entertainment Group as fast as she could. According to the normal procedures, strangers who came to the Sky Entertainment Group had to go through the registration procedures. But Tao Yinan didn't. She drove a Bentley sports car. Her style was already high enough. The security guard at the door saw her posture and knew in his heart that she wasn't an ordinary person. Tao Yinan stopped the car and threw out a domineering sentence. "I'm looking for your Mr. Su." The security guard said, "Hello, our Mr. Su hasn't arrived yet. I'll wait for him in his office." Tao Yinan didn't give the security guard any chance to explain and drove the car in. After all, the security guard at the door couldn't guess the identity of a woman who drove a luxury car and was domineering. He could only obediently give up and let Tao Yinan drive in directly. He really couldn't afford to offend an important guest. This was the security guard's thought in his heart. Moreover, a woman who could drive such a badass sports car and with such a temperament couldn't be a small character. He obediently cooperated. At least this person wouldn't have any other impact on the company. At a glance, he could tell that this person was a person of quality. Tao Yinan's feet were high and her entire body was luxurious branded goods. The small handbag in her hand was worth hundreds of thousands. "Hello, Mississippi. Is there anything I can help you with?" The girls at the front desk all knew what was good for them. Just by looking at Tao Yinan's outfit, they knew what kind of status she had. "I have an appointment with Mr. Su, but he hasn't arrived yet. He asked me to wait for him in his office," Tao Yinan said. The girl at the front desk immediately understood that this was the boss's guest. She quickly signaled the secretary to take her to Su Yun's office. Su Yun had been appearing and disappearing unpredictably recently. There was almost no pattern when he came to the company. Therefore, it was no problem for Tao Yinan to sneak in with such words. However, after the secretary on the first floor took Tao Yinan to Su Yun's office, she went to inform Ruan Qingshuang as soon as possible. Ruan Qingshuang was also worried that Tao Yinan might be a distinguished guest. Ruan Qingshuang was also confused when she received the notice. Did she have an appointment with someone important recently? She wasn't sure, but no matter what, she still had to go and take a look. After Ruan Qingshuang came to Su Yun's office, the secretary had already poured coffee for Tao Yinan. "Hello, I'm Ruan Qingshuang." Ruan Qingshuang smiled and walked into Su Yun's office. "If there is anything, you can tell me first." The secretary introduced, "This is our President Ruan." "Hello, President Ruan." Tao Yinan smiled slightly. "I'm not looking for Su Yun for business, so I won't bother you. It's a little personal problem between me and him, so I'll solve it myself." Ruan Qingshuang smiled slightly. Personal problem? Although this woman didn't feel like a young girl, her temperament and beauty were still very good. Ruan Qingshuang was not suspicious. She was just curious about the relationship between this woman and Su Yun. After all, she didn't see Tao Yinan when she went to the Intercontinental Ocean Hotel that day, so she didn't know Tao Yinan at all. This was the first time they met. "Since you're here, you're an important guest of Sky Entertainment, of course we can't neglect you," Ruan Qingshuang said. "Before President Su arrives, I'll do my best to host him." "Thank you very much," Tao Yinan said, "but I really don't need anyone to accompany me. I can wait for him here by myself." "It's okay. I don't have anything important right now," Ruan Qingshuang said. "I was going to his office to look for some information." With that, Ruan Qingshuang sat in front of Su Yun's desk and turned on the computer as if she was really looking for some information. Tao Yinan had no right to interfere with other people's work. Although she hoped that she could quietly wait for Su Yun, there was no other way now. Ruan Qingshuang didn't do anything after turning on the computer. Just now, the secretary said that this person had contacted Su Yun, but Su Yun hadn't arrived yet. This wasn't Su Yun's style. Su Yun was a very punctual person. He was also a very honest person. If he had already contacted someone, he would not be late. In front of outsiders, Ruan Qingshuang didn't have the nerve to call and ask directly. Instead, she secretly sent a WeChat message to Su Yun, telling Su Yun that the person he had made an appointment with was waiting for him in the office. After Su Yun received Ruan Qingshuang's message, he was puzzled for a while. What was going on? He didn't ask a friend to meet at the company. Moreover, even if a friend had an appointment, they wouldn't go to the company, right? Unless it was a client. But if he knew all the people who worked at Sky Entertainment Group, how could Ruan Qingshuang not know them? Ruan Qingshuang knew more clients than Su Yun, so Su Yun could only eliminate this possibility. The more he couldn't figure out who was looking for him, the more uneasy Su Yun felt. Moreover, this was a very special time, so how could Su Yun not be nervous? Suddenly, Su Yun seemed to have thought of something. He quickly sent a message to Ruan Qingshuang, asking about the person's characteristics. The reply made Su Yun nervous. High heels, luxury clothes, jewelry, around 30 years old. She looked younger than 30, but her temperament was more mature than 30. Although it was just a simple description, Su Yun was basically certain. That's right, it must be Tao Yinan. This crazy woman actually went to Sky Entertainment Group. Su Yun couldn't figure out what her purpose was. Su Yun rushed to Sky Entertainment Group as fast as he could. He specifically reminded Ruan Qingshuang to calm her down, because it might be an important guest. Su Yun didn't want Ruan Qingshuang to know too much. That would make her nervous, and once she was nervous, there was a possibility that she would find out. Tao Yinan probably couldn't sit still. If Ruan Qingshuang knew the truth, the two of them might not be able to sit here so peacefully. Ruan Qingshuang knew that Su Yun would be there soon, so she smiled at Tao Yinan and said, "If you need anything, just let me know. I'll ask my secretary to prepare it for you." "You're too polite," Tao Yinan said. "I'll just wait for Mr. Su." "All right, what's your relationship with Mr. Su?" Facing Tao Yinan's question, Ruan Qingshuang smiled and gave her an official answer. "Mr. Su and I are colleagues." "Oh, colleagues." Tao Yinan smiled. For a girl to be the leader of such a big company, it must be very hard, right? "It's okay. When everything is familiar, it doesn't feel so hard." Ruan Qingshuang smiled. "Besides, isn't it the same no matter what you do? It's hard." "That's good, I like it." Tao Yinan said, "Indeed, everything is hard and not easy. Chapter 26:38. I still don't know your name. Ruan Qingxuang smiled. Suyun didn't tell her who she was, so Ruan Qingxuang didn't know who she was. Tao Yinan also smiled at Ruan Qingxuang. My name is Tao Yinan. Miss Tao. Ruan Qingxuang nodded. What kind of work do you do? Do you have any business dealings with Sky Entertainment? I'm in the world trade. Tao Yinan said, I don't think I have any business dealings with Sky Entertainment Group. Ha ha ha. But if there is a chance to cooperate, I'm really looking forward to it. Ruan Qingxuang was stunned. World trade? This had nothing to do with what Sky Entertainment Group was doing. How could there be a chance for them to work together? Of course, if there is a chance, I'm also looking forward to it. Ruan Qingxuang said, Nice to meet you, Miss Tao. Nice to meet you, Mr. Ruan. Tao Yinan said lightly, Mr. Su seems to be very unreliable. His working hours are so irregular. Ruan Qingxuang explained, there are a lot of things going on recently, so he's been very busy. Really? Tao Yinan asked. Then what is he busy with? Well, haha, it's all work in Sky Entertainment Group. Ruan Qingxuang said, a lot. There are all kinds of work. When they are added together, it becomes very complicated. It's really a waste of energy. Tao Yinan nodded thoughtfully. Then it seems that Mr. Ruan is a very good right-hand man. He can help share a lot of work and pressure. Only in this way can Mr. Su have the energy and time to do some other things. Tao Yinan's words had a hidden meaning, but Ruan Qingxuang didn't catch it. It can't be helped. No matter how much work there are still things to deal with in life. Life is always more important than work, isn't it? Is life more important than work? Tao Yinan was stunned. But if you don't work, how can you guarantee your life? But if even life is meaningless, then what is the point of working? Ruan Qingxuang said, work itself is to make life more meaningful, so people can't let work become a burden to life. If that's the case, life will be meaningless, and what's the point of work? Mr. Ruan is experienced in life, Tao Yinan said. Ruan Qingxuang smiled. Yes, I suffered when I was young, so I know how to cherish life. In this society where everyone puts money first, it's really rare to see someone who puts life first. Tao Yinan said, I really envy you. I really envy your understanding of life. Miss Tao, please don't make fun of me. What kind of enlightenment is this? Ruan Qingxuang said. It's just some of my personal experiences that have taught me. It's also a great fortune in life to have this kind of experience. Tao Yinan said faintly, how many people don't have the opportunity to experience the ups and downs that life should experience? A life with gains and losses, a stumbling life, is the most perfect life. Ruan Qingxuang still agreed with Tao Yinan's understanding. It was true that only a stumbling life could make people feel what life was. The kind of life where everything was arranged from birth, the kind of life where everything went smoothly without any peaks or valleys, could it still be considered a life? That kind of life might be envied by everyone, especially in the north of Huaxia. More people would hope that they could have that kind of life. This was the simplest reason why so many people applied for civil service. Society made people lose the motivation to pursue their own ideals. Everyone hoped that they could live their lives without worrying about food and clothing. Was this kind of life really suitable for everyone? No, not everyone was suitable for this kind of life. Some people could live this kind of ordinary life because their father's generation was in this line of work. Their family's 7 aunts and 8 aunts were all in this line of work. If they entered this circle, they would have a meteoric rise. And this kind of people didn't care about the pitiful monthly salary. Perhaps their father had long been so greedy that his wallet was bulging. It was enough for him to waste a few lifetimes. And some people couldn't see clearly. Their family had nothing, but they desperately squeezed into this circle. Squeezing in? They couldn't get promoted, they couldn't get good things, and their salary was also so pitiful. Look at their colleagues driving Audi and BMW, but they didn't even have the courage to get a loan to buy a BYD. Why? Because this wasn't a job that was suitable for people who had nothing to do. People who had nothing should take out their only chance and fight for it. Why should they waste their life for a so-called respectable job? When they entered that circle, they realized that they weren't valued at all. Everything was already too late. Some people didn't believe in fate, but did fate really not exist? From the moment a person was born, they had already been arranged what they were suited to do. And fate would constantly give them opportunities. It just depended on whether they could seize them. If they seized the opportunity and did what they were suitable to do, they would inevitably have a great future in this field. Some people were suitable to do research and become the world's greatest scientists. Some people were suitable to do education and become the world's greatest educators. Some people were suitable to do art and become the world's greatest musicians, artists, and performers. Some people were suitable to do sales and become the world's greatest businessmen. All of this was fate. But fate wouldn't send things that were arranged in front of anyone. It would only send opportunities. And opportunities were also uncertain. Under this kind of uncertainty, everyone would be at a loss and hesitate. Should they grab the rope with the opportunity to swing across the abyss and reach the other side of success, or should they climb the single-plank bridge that thousands of people crowded on? Out of 10,000 people, perhaps only one dared to grab the rope and swing across the abyss. And the other 9,999 people were afraid of falling into the abyss, so they crowded on the single-plank bridge and became a member of the crowd that would never reach success. Life was like this. People without courage would always live on the single-plank bridge, like the mediocre people around them, living a meaningless life. And those who had the courage to grab the opportunity could swing across the abyss and reach the other side of success to see the more beautiful scenery. It wasn't that they weren't worried about failure, or that they weren't afraid of falling into the abyss. They were just clear that there was nothing to be afraid of falling into the abyss. Climb out of the abyss, and then try to grab the rope that belonged to their own opportunity. Even if they fell once, twice, thrice, or 5 times, as long as they had the courage to climb out of the abyss, they would still have the opportunity to grab the rope of hope. The people on the single-plank bridge might have already given up on their lives and started to sleep on the bridge. They might even shrink back and become mediocre people. There would never be a lack of mediocre people in this world, and there would never be a lack of winners who dared to grab the rope of opportunity and reach the other side of the abyss. Everything given by fate was fair, and the final choice was up to each person. The people lying on the single-plank bridge would always complain about why they didn't have the opportunity, but they didn't know that if they wanted to have the opportunity, they shouldn't have squeezed onto the single-plank bridge. "I envy your life," Tao Yinan said to Ruan Qingxuang. These were her heartfelt words. She didn't belong to the people on the single-plank bridge, and she didn't belong to the people who grabbed the opportunity. Because she was the third type of people who were already standing on the other side of success when they were born. So she said that she envied. She had seen countless people who grabbed the opportunity to swing across the abyss, and she also hoped that she could experience that feeling. Unfortunately, the moment she was born, fate had already deprived her of the opportunity to experience that feeling. Although she had everything she wanted, she had forever lost the joy of having everything. The only thing she could experience was the pain of losing everything. Therefore, her entire life was spent in a thin layer of ice. God was fair, really. Chapter 26:39. Ruan Qingxuang smiled slightly. "What's there to envy about my life? I should be the one envious about your life. Miss Tao, you look like a lady from a respectable family." "A lady from a respectable family? Ha ha ha." Tao Yinan laughed. "This is the first time I've heard someone say that. A lady from a respectable family. Maybe. But is a lady from a respectable family really so lucky? In fact, no. Only those who are involved in it know the troubles." The two suddenly talked about these things, and the relationship between them seemed to be getting closer quickly. Everyone has their own troubles. Life won't be smooth. Ruan Qingxuang said, "Although I don't know what difficulties you have in your life, I can understand. The difficulties I'm facing now are very difficult to bear. Tao Yinan sighed. If I could choose, I really want to be like you. Really? Ruan Qingxuang smiled slightly. That's because you don't know my experience. I once broke with my family because my parents forced me to marry. In order to escape the fate, I struggled in society alone. If I wasn't lucky enough to meet Su Yun, I don't dare to think about what I would be like now. A down-and-out woman with a 7 or 8-year-old child, Ruan Qingxuang didn't think of that scene. She knew that no matter how difficult it was, she wouldn't give up on Guagua. If there was no Su Yun, would she have a safe place to stay? The medicinal cuisine store would inevitably be destroyed by the hooligans. Even if it couldn't be destroyed, it would be forcibly taken back by the landlord. The trouble that Ruan Qingxuang was about to face was something that she would never be able to solve and deal with. Thinking of these things, Ruan Qingxuang wanted to thank God, thank Su Yun's appearance. She didn't care what kind of life she had. She accepted all the arrangements of fate, but she pitied Guagua's life. If there was no Su Yun, Guagua would be reduced to a pitiful child. She couldn't give her anything. No matter what, the child was innocent. Is it Su Yun who gave you everything you have today? Tao Yinan asked calmly. She was also curious about what this woman had experienced. Ruan Qingxuang's humility made Tao Yinan feel that this woman must have experienced something. Otherwise, with her current status, it was impossible for her to have such a humble attitude. Just now, she was even so kind and polite to the secretary in the company. Her words and actions explained everything. Yes, if it weren't for Su Yun, I really wouldn't know where I was today and what I was doing. Ruan Qingxuang said, just thinking about it is scary, hee. Tao Yinan nodded. Indeed. Just thinking about it makes me feel scared. Yes, Ruan Qingxuang raised her head and said, but now that everything is in the past, I should look forward. Su Yun treats you like this. He must care about you very much, right? Tao Yinan smiled. Ruan Qingxuang was stunned. She didn't know why Tao Yinan said that, but facing the current situation, Ruan Qingxuang couldn't deny it. It seems that you are quite important in his heart. Tao Yinan said, I think, the relationship between you is not as simple as a confidant, right? Maybe, you are lovers. Lovers. Ruan Qingxuang smiled embarrassedly. She couldn't deny it. Now I envy you more. Tao Yinan said, if I can exchange identities with you, I am willing to pay any price. Ruan Qingxuang looked at Tao Yinan in surprise. Did she also like Su Yun? Don't get me wrong. Tao Yinan saw Ruan Qingxuang's surprise. I'm just talking about the current situation of our lives. Hee. Ruan Qingxuang laughed dryly. I envy myself so much that I can be like you. Tao Yinan said, instead of facing a bunch of things that I can't solve and can't fight against. Ruan Qingxuang said, is there anything I can help you with? Tao Yinan shook her head. You can't help me with anything, but Su Yun can help me. Su Yun can help you? Ruan Qingxuang said, of course if you need, Su Yun must be a helpful person. Tao Yinan said, I hope we can trust each other. What I can tell you is that I came here simply to ask for some help from Su Yun. There is no other meaning. Ruan Qingxuang nodded. Of course. I don't mean to hurt anyone. Tao Yinan continued. Ruan Qingxuang was stunned. She didn't understand the meaning of Tao Yinan's words. If I have offended you in any way, I hope you can understand. Tao Yinan said, if it weren't for my current situation, I really hope to be friends with you. And I believe we can indeed be friends. Ruan Qingxuang was even more confused by Tao Yinan's words. Miss Tao, I don't quite understand what you are trying to say. Ruan Qingxuang said. Tao Yinan smiled. When Su Yun comes, you will understand what I am trying to say. Finally, at this moment, Su Yun pushed the door in a hurry. At the same time, Tao Yinan suddenly turned around and held Ruan Qingxuang in her hands. A small sharp dagger appeared in Tao Yinan's hand. She directly pressed it against Ruan Qingxuang's throat. Su Yun immediately stopped and stretched out his hands. Tao Yinan, you better calm down. If you dare to hurt her, I won't let you leave here alive. Ruan Qingxuang was confused. She didn't understand what was going on. The person who was chatting happily just now suddenly threatened her with a dagger in her hand. Miss Tao, why are you doing this? Ruan Qingxuang said. I have already explained to you. If I have offended you in any way, I hope you can understand. Tao Yinan said, what you need to do now is to be quiet. Don't do anything impulsive. Otherwise, I will really hurt you. Tao Yinan, what happened between us has nothing to do with her. Su Yun, she is just my colleague. You better not make a big deal out of it. We can solve our problems between us. When I first came, Miss Ruan also said that you are colleagues. Tao Yinan said, but later I found out that it wasn't like that. You love her very much and care about her very much. So, she is not just a colleague. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so nervous now. Su Yun tried to calm his breathing as much as possible. I hope you know what you are doing. Put down the weapon first. We can talk slowly. Su Yun, if I put down the bargaining chip in my hand, what can I talk to you with? Tao Yinan said, do you think I am a 3-year-old child? You can easily fool me. What do you want to say? Say it. If you have any conditions, just say it, Su Yun said. Tao Yinan smiled. It seems that the bargaining chip in my hand is really important. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so nervous. I am really nervous about this matter. Su Yun, you can see it. I also admit it. Then you should know how serious the consequences will be if you do this. I dare to come to this place to see you. It means that I have let go of everything. Tao Yinan said, so you better not threaten me. It is meaningless to threaten me. Su Yun admitted that he really admitted defeat at this moment. He had no way out. Okay, everything will be done according to what you said. What do you want me to do? Sit down. Tao Yinan said, calm down first. If you don't calm down, we have nothing to talk about. Su Yun had to sit on the sofa as Tao Yinan said and slowly adjusted his breathing. At this time, Ruan Qingxuang seemed to understand that this Miss Tao might be the one who wanted to harm Jiang Zixue. Yes, it must be like this. Chapter 2640. You're cuter when you're calm. Tao Yinan said to Su Yun, I prefer dealing with calm people. Tell me your conditions. Su Yun said, I don't like dealing with despicable people. Don't speak so harshly. What do you mean by despicable? You visited me twice, and I didn't say you were despicable. I just came here to see you once, and you say I'm despicable? Tao Yinan said, I'm just standing next to your beloved, and I haven't done anything to her. But what about you? You ruined my beloved red wine. Did I say anything? Su Yun took a deep breath. If you're just complaining about that bottle of wine, we can talk about it. I'll find a way to make it up to you. I'll find another bottle of precious red wine for you. Tao Yinan smiled. Su Yun, although I love wine, I haven't fallen to the point where I can be led by the nose for a bottle of wine. I didn't mean that. I'm just saying that if it's because of that, I'll make it up to you. Su Yun. Tao Yinan's dagger didn't leave the Ruan Qingxuang. Su Yun really didn't dare to act rashly. He knew Tao Yinan very well. Once she made up her mind to do something, she wouldn't care about the consequences. Tao Yinan was still smiling. I know that you have the ability to find me, so you have the ability to know the movements of the 6 families. Tell me what you know now. Su Yun was startled. Could it be that Jin Hong was exposed? That was impossible. They had all evacuated before the other great clans arrived. Tell me, it's no big deal. Tao Yinan said, I'm already in your territory. What else do you have to worry about? I know that you've gathered the other 5 families to Guqin Island. Su Yun said, you want to do something? Tao Yinan looked surprised and said, Su Yun, I really underestimated you. You know more than I thought. You even know about their arrival. Tao Yinan, just say what you want to say. There's no need to beat around the bush, Su Yun said. You know too much. Tao Yinan said, It's more than I thought. That's what I meant. Go on, tell me what else you know. Su Yun, that's all I know. Tao Yinan laughed and said, That's all? Heh heh heh. Is that all? Do you need me to tell you something else that you don't know? Su Yun didn't answer. He didn't know what Tao Yinan meant. Let me tell you this time, other than me, there is also Zhao family's Zhao Zihu, Qian family's Qian Zheng, Sun family's Sun Haoming, Li family's Li Zheng, and Zhou family's Zhou Xuancheng. The future successors of each family have come to Guqin Island, Tao Yinan said. Su Yun, then it looks like you're also the successor of the Tao family? Are you humiliating me? Tao Yinan was a bit agitated. No, I definitely don't mean that. Su Yun, what I mean is that you're the most outstanding person of the Tao family. That's why you're here. The men of the Tao family can't compare to you at all. Don't make it sound so beautiful, Tao Yinan said. You don't really think that I'll believe what you say, do you? Why not? Su Yun said. Tao Yinan sneered. You're really too calm, aren't you? Su Yun, the people of the 6 great families have all arrived. You're actually not nervous at all? If being nervous can solve the problem, I'll definitely be nervous without hesitation. It's a pity that being nervous can't solve any problem at all, right? Su Yun, so why should I be nervous? Tao Yinan said, I don't care what your relationship with Zhuo Langyue is. I'm here today just to tell you that the Tao family is going to withdraw from the Jiang family. Su Yun smiled faintly. Then you gathered the people of the other 5 families here to replace you in doing what you were supposed to do? You can think whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I'm going to withdraw. Tao Yinan said, I don't want anything to do with me anymore. I've told you the identities of all the people who came to Guqin Island today. It's considered a help to you, isn't it? Su Yun shook his head. This bit of help is really too insignificant, isn't it? Then what else do you want me to do? Tao Yinan said, I've done everything I can do, and I've done everything I can't do. Su Yun didn't say anything. I can tell you more valuable information. Tao Yinan said, when they take action, I'll tell you. I promise you. Su Yun was stunned. It seemed that Tao Yinan was really going to play big this time. Of course, you have to promise me that you won't do anything stupid when I let her go later, Tao Yinan said. Su Yun agreed very quickly. Of course I can promise you that as long as you don't hurt her, I won't hold you accountable for everything you've done here. A man should keep his word. Tao Yinan slowly let go of Ruan Qingshuang. You've done what you promised me, so I'll do what I promised you. You'll tell me when they'll take action? Su Yun still didn't dare to believe it. Of course. Tao Yinan said, as long as they're sure, I'll tell you as soon as possible. Su Yun signaled Ruan Qingshuang to slowly leave Tao Yinan's attack range. What's in it for you? Su Yun, why do you have to deal with the people of the other 5 families? I'm not dealing with them. I just don't want the final trouble of this matter to fall on me. Tao Yinan said, I'm a woman. I can only think of ways to protect myself. Since they all know the consequences of offending Zhuo Langyue, I'd like to see who will meddle in it. You're very smart. Su Yun said. Tao Yinan shook her head. I'm just not stupid. Ruan Qingshuang finally left Tao Yinan's attack range slowly and quickly ran to Su Yun's side. She was still in shock. Miss Ruan, I'm sorry for what happened just now. Tao Yinan said, I had no choice. I hope you can understand. Ruan Qingshuang looked at Tao Yinan and couldn't say a word. You don't have to explain anything. Su Yun. It's meaningless. No, of course it's meaningful. Tao Yinan said, if it weren't for the differences between us, I believe I could have become friends with Miss Ruan. She can understand me, and I can understand her. Even if we don't live in the same environment, we are the same. We are the same kind of people. I mean the same kind of people in spirit. Ruan Qingshuang didn't quite understand, but she didn't deny it. She really didn't hate Tao Yinan. Even after Tao Yinan did this kind of behavior, she still didn't hate her. You really feel good about yourself. Su Yun, it's not good, is it? Tao Yinan laughed. You can ask her whether I feel good about myself or not. I believe her feelings won't deceive her. You don't have to do this at all, Ruan Qingxuang said. Everything can be solved peacefully. Why do you have to go too far? Su Yun was stunned. Listening to Ruan Qingxuang's words, she really became friends with Tao Yinan for a few minutes. This was definitely a tone used to persuade a friend. There was no hostility at all. I have no other way, so I can only do this. Tao Yinan said, I'm very happy to meet you here today. If there's a chance, I believe we can be friends. No, if it's like this, we can't be friends, Ruan Qingxuang said. Tao Yinan said lightly, then I can only say that it's a pity. It depends on whether Su Yun will give me a chance. Chapter 26:41. What kind of opportunity do you want? Su Yun said, as long as you can tell me, I will do my best to satisfy you. Tao Yinan said, how about this, 3 days later at midnight, you will come to my place alone. I will tell you the details of their plan. Su Yun frowned. He didn't know why Tao Yinan did this, so he couldn't give himself a reason to agree. He can't go. There are so many of you. What if this is a trap? Ruan Qingxuang said. Don't be so nervous. Tao Yinan said, the 6 great clans didn't dare to kill Jiang Zixue because of Zuolangyue's interference. As for Su Yun, I believe that no one is willing to offend someone close to Zuolangyue. So if I want to harm him, I would be too stupid. Su Yun believed that Tao Yinan had some misgivings about him. He didn't doubt this at all. Otherwise, he wouldn't have the chance to go to the hotel and provoke her a second time. If you tell me the whole plan, wouldn't you be betraying the 6 great clans? Su Yun said. Yes, I am betraying the 6 great clans. Tao Yinan said. Even the Tao clan's own interests. You are willing to betray them? Su Yun continued to ask. Tao Yinan said, why not? The 6 great clans want to push me out as a scapegoat, including the Tao clan. So they treat me the same. In my eyes, they are also the same. There is no distinction between each other. Even if you are a member of the Tao clan, you don't hesitate to sacrifice the Tao clan's interests? Su Yun was puzzled. Why? Give me a reason to believe you. Because I am doing it for my own interests. Tao Yinan said, isn't this reason sufficient? Of course it was sufficient. What wouldn't a person betray for their own interests? The answer was none. As long as it is for my own interests, I can do anything. Tao Yinan said, why would I sacrifice my own interests for others? There is no reason, right? All right. Su Yun nodded. You have given me a sufficient reason to trust you. Tao Yinan said, I don't care if they catch Jiang Zixue in the end or if you protect Jiang Zixue. This matter has nothing to do with me anymore. I only hope that I can avoid this mission. Whether you can survive or not, it all depends on you. Very fair. Of course it's fair. Tao Yinan said, if I can't even guarantee this basic fairness, then what else can I do? Su Yun. Then it's decided. Su Yun said, it's up to you whether or not you can completely cut off all ties with this matter. Of course. Tao Yinan said, 3 days later, at midnight, I hope to see you on time. That's the safest time. Of course, if you don't believe me, you can bring someone with you. But if they are disturbed because of this, it has nothing to do with me. I'm not so cowardly that I don't even dare to go out on my own. Su Yun smiled. 3 days later at midnight, see you there. See you there. Tao Yinan was ready to leave. Su Yun didn't mean to stop her. He let her go. Su Yun is a good man. Cherish him. Before Tao Yinan left, she said to Ruan Qingxuang, although there are conflicts between us, I'm still glad that I can be your friend for a short time. When we were chatting just now, I didn't want to take advantage of your distracting thoughts. Ruan Qingxuang didn't know why she explained this, but she did feel that it was a pity. After Tao Yinan left Su Yun's office, Su Yun hurriedly looked at Ruan Qingshuang. "Are you hurt anywhere?" "No, I'm fine." Ruan Qingshuang said, "I just don't understand, half of what she says is fine." Su Yun, "Not everyone is trustworthy." Ruan Qingshuang nodded. "But I think she's quite pitiful. Born in that kind of place, she doesn't even have the chance to make her own decisions. It's really a pity." "Yeah." Su Yun, "But who told her to be born in such a big family?" Ruan Qingshuang shook her head. "I don't think that's a good fate at all. But someone like me is really a good fate. Because you're kind enough. Su Yun, God is not blind. He won't arrange a bumpy fate for a good person, and he won't let a bad person live a comfortable life." Ruan Qingshuang said, "Really? But there are still a lot of bad people living a comfortable life. Good will be rewarded with good, and evil will be punished with evil. It's not that there's no punishment, it's just that it's not time yet. Su Yun, no bad person can escape the final punishment. Even those big tigers who can cover the sky with one hand will fall as miserably as they can when it's time to fall off the horse." Ruan Qingshuang smiled. "I believe that." Suddenly, she seemed to have thought of something. "Will you really do that?" "Do what?" Su Yun was startled. "Meet her at the hotel in the early morning 3 days later?" Ruan Qingshuang said. Su Yun nodded. "I'm afraid I have no other choice but to believe her." Then what if she... Ruan Qingshuang was really dubious about Tao Yinan. "What if she doesn't do as she says? Then won't you be in danger?" "I think I'm already in danger now." Su Yun grinned. "On the way here, I seem to have sensed that there were more than 1 or 2 groups of people watching me. Perhaps the entire 6 great clans have arranged for people to deal with me." Ruan Qingshuang opened her mouth in surprise. "Then aren't you in danger?" "Maybe." Su Yun, "But according to Tao Yinan, they don't dare to do anything to me. It's just some investigation." Ruan Qingshuang took a deep breath. Even if it was just an investigation, it would still be very dangerous. "Let's just go with the flow. The calmer I appear, the more they won't dare to do anything to me." Su Yun, "There's nothing to worry about." Ruan Qingshuang responded like that, but she didn't think so. She was absolutely worried. After all, the other party was watching them like a tiger watching its prey. Who knew if they would change their decision in the next second? These things were really too worrying. "When you get off work, go back with Zhuo Meiyan," Su Yun said. "What about you?" Ruan Qingshuang asked. "I think I should at least figure out how many people want to investigate me." Su Yun, "If I don't figure it out, I might not be able to sleep tonight." Ruan Qingshuang was still very nervous about this. "You alone? You should let Pigeon go with you, or let Jieshi help you. Either way, you need someone by your side. The more people there are, the bigger the target." Su Yun, "I'll be fine by myself. Trust me, they won't dare to do anything out of line for now." Su Yun's promise was reassuring, but it was only a little comfort. "Go, don't worry." Su Yun, "I won't have any problems." Chapter 2642. Tao Yinan walked out of Sky Entertainment Group and drove away. Just as she drove out of Sky Entertainment Group's gate, an inconspicuous silver Toyota slowly followed behind her. The person in the car adjusted the microphone on his collar and said in a deep voice, "I'll follow Tao Yinan. You stay here." "Understood." At this moment, there was still a black Accord parked in front of Sky Entertainment Group's public parking space. The two of them were originally on the same mission, but now they were separated. If they hadn't followed Tao Yinan closely, they wouldn't have been able to find this place. Obviously, the black Cayenne that was speeding towards Sky Entertainment Group caught the attention of the person in the black Accord. This Cayenne could completely ignore the security guards at the entrance of Sky Entertainment Group, and it could even park directly at the entrance of Sky Entertainment Group. Obviously, his identity wasn't ordinary. As a person with a special identity, it was rare for him to be so flustered in front of his own employees. This didn't make sense. Therefore, he must have something very urgent. Otherwise, he wouldn't be like this. And this urgent matter was most likely because of Tao Yinan. Because the people who came in and out of the company were all their own people, Tao Yinan was probably the only outsider. Therefore, the owner of this black Kian was definitely in their sights. After informing them of the situation through the intercom, the person in the silver Toyota immediately dialed a number. "What's the situation?" The phone was picked up and Zhao Zihu's concerned voice came through the phone. "Don't worry. Everything is under control." The person in the Toyota followed Tao Yinan closely and replied, "Tao Yinan just left Sky Entertainment Group. She probably met with someone from Sky Entertainment Group. I've already asked Seven to stay at the gate. Once that person comes out, he'll immediately keep an eye on him." "What about you?" "I'm still following Tao Yinan. I won't let her out of my sight." Zhao Zihu narrowed his eyes and thought for a moment. "You don't need to follow Tao Yinan anymore. Go back and keep an eye on Sky Entertainment Group's people. I'll call Tao Yinan and make sure she's back at the hotel." "Yes. I understand." The people in the Toyota immediately turned around after receiving the order. "Observe anyone who has contact with your suspect carefully." Zhao Zihu said, "Keep an eye on anyone who's suspicious." "Yes." Zhao Zihu said, "Chen Fan, I've always believed in your ability to get things done. You must not disappoint me." "Don't worry, I won't let you down." The person in the car said coldly, "I do things with a clear conscience. I will be worthy of the reward given to me by the Zhao family." "That's good." Zhao Zihu said, "With you and Seven here, I can still control the situation." The silver Toyota soon returned to the public parking lot in front of Sky Entertainment. Seven, who was sitting in the black Accord, was very surprised. He turned on the microphone and said, "Why are you back again?" "It's the boss's idea." Chen Fan said, "What we need to do now is to keep an eye on all the people who have contact with the Kian owner. Once we find something suspicious, we can't miss it." "What about Tao Yinan? Did the boss say that he doesn't need us to keep an eye on her?" Ah Chi was still worried about this problem. Before the two of them came out, Zhao Zihu had said that no matter what, they could not let Tao Yinan leave their sight. "The boss will call her to make sure she's back at the hotel." Chen Fan said, "We just need to do what we are supposed to do. Don't think too much about the rest." "Understood." Seven nodded. His eyes were still fixed on the black Kian. The two of them put all their energy into Sky Entertainment Group. As for Tao Yinan, Zhao Zihu was personally supervising her. After Zhao Zihu told his men, he dialed Tao Yinan's number. Tao Yinan turned on the car's Bluetooth. "Who is it?" "Yinan, it's me." Zhao Zihu said, "I have something to tell you. I don't know if it's convenient for you now." "I'm not in the hotel right now," Tao Yinan said. Zhao Zihu was stunned. He pretended to be surprised. "Not in the hotel? Then where did you go? Do I need to report to you where I go?" Tao Yinan asked back. "No, of course not. I just want to care about you." Zhao Zihu said, "Then when will you come back? I really have something important to tell you." Tao Yinan said, "Okay. I'll contact you when I get back." "Yinan, I'm not joking. It's about their thoughts. I'm sure you want to know now," Zhao Zihu said. Hearing this, Tao Yinan said, "Meet me in my room in 20 minutes. Zhao Zihu was relieved when he confirmed that Tao Yinan would go back to the hotel. "Okay, I'll meet you in your room in 20 minutes. After hanging up the phone, Tao Yinan couldn't calm down for a long time. She didn't know what Zhao Zihu wanted to say to her, but she didn't feel good. Just now, she felt that a silver Toyota was following her. Maybe she was thinking too much. The car didn't follow her for long before it turned around. It seemed to be someone who took the wrong road. Tao Yinan told herself that maybe she had been too nervous recently. That's why she felt so paranoid. No matter what Zhao Zihu's purpose was, As long as it was about their thoughts, the more Tao Inan knew, the more advantages she would have. Thinking of this, Tao Inan stepped on the gas pedal. At the entrance of Sky Entertainment Group, Chen Fan was vigilantly watching everything. He looked at the time and told Chi, "Drive away now. After changing to another car, come back here in half an hour. But don't park the car in front of Sky Entertainment Group. Park it at the hotel opposite." Understood. Chi was very obedient to Chen Fan's words. He knew Chen Fan's ability and believed in his judgment. Reality proved that Chen Fan's judgment was correct. At this time, Su Yun was standing in front of the office window, looking at the row of cars parked outside. Although Su Yun couldn't put it into words, he just had an uncomfortable feeling. He felt that there was something wrong with that black Accord. He had never seen it around this area before, but this time, it had been parked here for so long. And that Toyota, there seemed to be something wrong with it. At this time, the black Accord slowly left the parking lot and quickly disappeared from Su Yun's sight. Only then did Su Yun rub his head. Perhaps he was overthinking things. But the Toyota that didn't leave still caught Su Yun's attention. Chen Fan, who was in the Toyota, also felt it. His sixth sense told him that his whereabouts seemed to have aroused suspicion. But he didn't make the same choice as Chi. The same method could be used once. If both of them used the same method, it would arouse even more suspicion. So he didn't plan to make any more changes. Even if he was discovered, he would follow the path that was discovered. This way, he only needed to make a sacrifice to give Chi a better chance. There was a difference between a single soldier and a two-man team. Therefore, Chen Fan believed that his decision was correct. By drawing all the suspicious gazes to himself, Chi would be safer. This was Chen Fan's plan. He wanted to see how the other party would react and whether or not it was worth his consideration. If the other party didn't even have this much ability, then there was no point in keeping an eye on them. If they couldn't discover him, then it could only mean that the other party was useless. Chapter 26:43. Su Yun was not the trash in Chen Fan's eyes. He was still very vigilant about this situation. After all, there had been a lot of trouble recently, and Su Yun had always been very vigilant. When it was time to get off work and walk out of the company, Su Yun told Ruan Qingxuang to wait for Zhuo Meiyan to leave together, and he had to deal with the tail at the door of the company. Although there had been all kinds of tracking recently, Su Yun still did not dare to be careless with anyone. However, Su Yun would never have thought that the same person would arrange two people to investigate him, and these two people would cooperate with each other to discuss countermeasures. There is a woman who is in close contact with the target. Chi reported the situation to Chen Fan in a timely manner. Chen Fan nodded and said, "The target seems to have noticed my existence. In a while, I will deliberately lead him away. I will leave the person who is in close contact with him to you." Understood. Chi nodded and said, "Please rest assured, I promise to complete the task." "You must keep an eye on her." Chen Fan said, "We must seize any resources and opportunities." "I understand." Chi nodded. Su Yun got into his car, and Chen Fan immediately got ready. When Su Yun drove away from the Sky Entertainment Group, Chen Fan did not hesitate to follow. Although he believed that the other party had already noticed him, he still had to pretend to be cautious. Su Yun could be sure that the other party was definitely not Tao Inan's people. Tao Inan now dared to meet him directly. Did she still need to arrange for her subordinates to do this kind of thing? Soon, a person's name appeared in Su Yun's mind, Zhao Zihu. Jin Hong said that among the 5 people who came to Qingdao, Zhao Zihu was the only one who did not have any subordinates around him. However, this definitely did not mean that Zhao Zihu did not bring his subordinates to Huaxia. His men might have been hiding in the dark all this time. This was basically certain. Jin Hong said that Zhao Zihu was a smart person. Su Yun completely believed this. If the person this time was from one of the 6 major families, it must be Zhao Zihu's arrangement. Only Zhao Zihu's men had not shown themselves, and only Zhao Zihu's men could secretly keep an eye on Tao Inan. However, there was one thing that Su Yun did not understand. He believed that Tao Yinan should be able to understand such a simple thing, but why did she still take such a risk to meet him? This was not Tao Yinan's style. Tao Yinan was not that naive. Unless there was another possibility. Tao Yinan clearly knew that she had been targeted by the people arranged by Zhao Zihu, but she still wanted to see her. And her motive for doing so was nothing more than to get rid of the attention on her. At the same time, it would put more pressure on him. Thinking about it this way, it was indeed Tao Yinan's style. Since he was a new friend, Su Yun did not hold back. If he wanted to play, then everyone would play together. He would take him to see the big Mikoto Island. Su Yun's guess was correct. Tao Yinan was indeed aware that she was being watched by Zhao Zihu's men. But there was one point. She did not intend to bring Zhao Zihu's men to trouble Su Yun. It was just that she had no choice. She could only let nature take its course when encountering this kind of thing. If she could let Su Yun help her divert Zhao Zihu's attention, that would be the best. If she did not do it, she felt that it did not matter. It was just that on the way back, she felt that the tail that was following her had disappeared. This feeling made Tao Yinan feel very comfortable. She also roughly knew the meaning of Zhao Zihu's call to her. It was nothing more than to confirm her current situation. In all aspects, Zhao Zihu was using his own behavior to tell her how worried he was about the current situation. He did not want to be involved in this chaotic situation at all, so he was so careful, like walking on thin ice. When Tao Yinan returned to the Intercontinental Ocean Hotel, Zhao Zihu was already waiting for her at the door of her room. "Yinan, you are really punctual." Zhao Zihu said, "You came back on time." "If I don't come back on time, I'm afraid you will think too much." Tao Yinan said, "What if you are worried that I deceived you and did something else behind your back? You will feel that everything is out of your control. Is that right?" Zhao Zihu laughed twice. He felt that Tao Yinan was tricking him, so he would not be fooled. "I don't understand what you are talking about. I have said it so clearly. Can you still pretend that you don't understand?" "Hee hee. Not bad. Your self-control is getting better and better." Tao Yinan said, "I really hope that you can be honest with me." "Could it be that the two of us weren't honest enough that day?" Zhao Zihu asked. Tao Yinan immediately stopped his topic. "If you want others to know about your relationship with me, then continue to do what you are doing now. I don't mean anything else." Zhao Zihu said, "I just care about you." Tao Yinan smiled. "Then you are really concerned?" "Yes, I seem to have encountered trouble." "What trouble?" Zhao Zihu said. "I feel that someone is following me. It makes me very uneasy." Tao Yinan said, "But I don't understand. I have been in Qingdao for so long, and the other party's people have never followed me. Why did someone follow me after you came?" Zhao Zihu was startled. "Maybe they are playing tricks again. Li Zheng has been thinking about how to trouble you." "Li Zheng?" Tao Yinan snorted. "Him. This guy, except for his mouth, is there anything else that can be hard? He is a coward. He doesn't dare to do such a thing. That is Zhou Xuancheng. Don't be fooled by his silence. He is the most insidious person to do things," Zhao Zihu said. "If I want to suspect him, I might as well suspect you directly." Tao Yinan said, "After all, you are the only one among them who didn't bring his men to stay in the hotel. Whether their men have gone out of the hotel or not, as long as we check the surveillance, everything can be determined, so they won't be so stupid." Zhao Zihu looked innocent. "You suspect me? Yinan, you hurt my heart too much. How can I harm you? Who said that arranging people to follow me is harming me?" Tao Yinan said, "Maybe some people want to protect me out of concern." Zhao Zihu was startled. He didn't understand what Tao Yinan was thinking for a while. "Yinan, if you ask who cares about you the most among us, is there anyone else besides me?" Zhao Zihu said, "I am the only one who cares about you the most." "Then show it in your actions." Tao Yinan said, Let me see how you care about me. Zhao Zihu said, Is my performance not good enough? Tao Yinan nodded. Whether it is good or not, you know it in your heart. Well, since you have confirmed that I am back, then there is nothing else, right? Wait a minute, I am looking for you to tell you that they don't make up excuses. Tao Yinan interrupted Zhao Zihu. I don't want to listen to nonsense. Zhao Zihu narrowed his eyes. Could it be that Tao Yinan already knew everything? This is impossible. If it is discovered, Chen Fan and Ah Qi will definitely inform me. Tao Yinan said, I am a little tired. I want to rest. I won't invite you in. Zhao Zihu shook his head helplessly. This is also for your consideration. If they see you enter my room, they will definitely isolate you. Tao Yinan said, You care about me so much. I should also care about you. Thank you for your concern. Zhao Zihu turned and left after he finished speaking. He knew that there was a layer of separation between the trust between him and Tao Yinan. This was unavoidable. Now he only hoped that this layer of separation was worth it. It depended on what kind of reply Chen Fan and Ah Qi would give him. If he got nothing, then this time it was tantamount to losing the wife and losing the soldiers. He tried to steal a chicken only to end up losing the rice used to lure it. Chapter 2644. Su Yun drove Chen Fan, who was tailing behind them, around and around the island. After they were almost done touring Qingdao, he found a place to park the car and went to the crowded Taitong pedestrian street. Although the sky had just darkened, the night market was already bustling with activity. Many tall and slender girls were lingering here, forgetting to go home. Although this was not a place where high-end goods would appear, many girls seemed to have a special liking for this place. If they didn't come here once a week, they would feel like they had lived in vain. Perhaps this was the charm of the pedestrian street night market. They didn't care if they could buy anything here, they only cared about the fun of finding something here. When Uncle Ma brought a black cat and made the e-commerce industry popular, too many people preferred to shop with their phones or computers. Over time, the pedestrian street might become a thing of the past. Of course, in addition to Uncle Ma, there was also a certain Dong who brought a dog. They had a fierce fight on Singles' Day. Now it seemed that the cat's claws were more powerful. In addition, Ning, who threw herself into Uncle Ma's arms, was even more eloquent. If a certain Dong was really strong, he wouldn't need a lady boss in the headlines. The e-commerce industry was a man's battlefield. Don't let a woman carry the gun. These words deeply provoked a certain person. But then again, if it were anyone else, they would be thinking about the same thing. If Su Yun had to make a choice, he would rather let Uncle Ma earn his money to do charity or use it for plastic surgery than let a certain person earn money to pick up girls. How many people's hearts were broken when they found out that milk tea was picked up? Why couldn't a certain Dong win against Uncle Ma? It was because this guy put too much thought on women. Although Uncle Ma was a bit like an alien, he was the most down-to-earth type these days. Think about it, the uprising of the dwarfs suddenly appeared, and a rich dwarf appeared. This was exciting news for the dwarfs. Therefore, Su Yun also had to support Uncle Ma. He just hoped that the night market pedestrian street would not be destroyed by Uncle Ma's strong e-commerce. If it really became a cultural heritage in the future, it wouldn't be fun. But at least for now, there were still many girls who loved the night market. After Su Yun entered the pedestrian street, Chen Fan also followed. There were many people here, which was a good thing for Chen Fan. At the very least, he wouldn't make it seem like he was stalking her openly. Su Yun walked around the pedestrian street twice and bought a box of octopus balls. He sat on a chair by the roadside and ate it. There was a very quiet bar here. Shirley had mentioned it to Su Yun once. It was opened by one of his underlings. It was the kind of place that was very suitable for people who like to drink quietly. It was different from most of the noisy bars. Su Yun didn't spend too much time to find this place. He treated it as a place to take care of Shirley's business. He ordered a German Edinger stout and found a spacious seat to sit down. A few minutes later, Chen Fan also walked into the bar. He glanced at Su Yun from the corner of his eyes and sat in front of the bar like an ordinary customer. "Give me a glass of Edinger." Chen Fan ordered the same beer as Su Yun. Of course, it wasn't on purpose. They both liked the same taste. Su Yun looked at Chen Fan without any hesitation. Chen Fan also acted like nothing had happened. He sat in front of the bar without saying a word and drank the beer in his hand. "Bro, since you followed me here, let's have a drink together." Su Yun raised the glass in his hand to Chen Fan. Chen Fan pretended not to hear and did not pay attention to Su Yun at all. "Do I have to make it clear? Su Yun, Huaxia is my home ground. This won't do you any good." Chen Fan turned his head. "I don't understand what you're talking about. You've been following me from Sky Entertainment Group. You still don't understand what I'm talking about? Su Yun, who do you work for?" "Oh, forget it. You won't tell me even if I ask." "Let me guess." At this time, Ah Chi suddenly sent a message to Chen Fan. Chen Fan covered his headset and listened carefully. "It doesn't matter who I work for. The important thing is, the two women who came out with you today have arrived home." Chen Fan said. Su Yun's face changed. There were other people following them. He calculated the time. Ruan Qingxuang and Zhuo Meiyan had arrived home at this time. "I don't know if you're interested in making a deal with me, Chen Fan. If you are, we can sit down and have a drink. If you want to make a deal with me, tell your master to come see me personally." "Su Yun, I'll wait for him here." "Chen Fan, even if you don't care about your own safety, you should consider the people around you." "Haha. Unfortunately, the people around me have the ability to protect themselves. If you dare to take the risk, let your people try." "Su Yun, I don't mind." Chen Fan was stunned. It seemed like his opponent was quite difficult to deal with. "Your master is Zhao Zihu, right? Su Yun, help me tell him that I don't like to make deals with cowards. If he wants to make a deal with me, don't hide in your shell like a tortoise." Chen Fan gripped the beer glass in his hand tightly. "You want to make a deal with me? You're not qualified." Su Yun didn't hold back. "Tell your master that I'll only wait for you for 3 minutes. If he doesn't reply, I'll leave." In the end, Chen Fan couldn't take the initiative. He got up and dialed a number. He walked out of the bar and told Zhao Zihu everything. When Zhao Zihu heard that Chen Fan wasn't afraid of being followed, he more or less had some speculations. He said he'll only wait for 3 minutes. If he doesn't reply, he'll leave, Chen Fan said. Zhao Zihu closed his eyes and thought for a moment. He said lightly, "Send me the address and tell him that I'll be there soon." Chen Fan walked back into the bar and sat down in front of Su Yun. "I'll be there soon. It seems like you guys really want to make a deal with me." Su Yun smiled. "Then shouldn't you buy me another drink? Otherwise, I won't be able to sit still. You better not push your luck." Chen Fan was a little angry. Su Yun didn't care about how Chen Fan felt. "If your master comes and finds out that you can't even keep an important guest like me, he'll definitely be furious, right?" Chen Fan was silent. In the end, he snapped his fingers and ordered another beer for Su Yun. "That's right, Su Yun. If you didn't look so annoying, I would definitely buy you a drink. Unfortunately, you're really too annoying, so I have no intention of buying you a drink at all." Chen Fan ignored Su Yun's words and continued to drown his sorrows in wine. "Drinking alone is bad for the body," Su Yun said with a smile. He was already familiar with Tao Yinan among the people of the 6 great families. Zhao Zihu would be the second person he was familiar with. He wanted to see what these people were scheming. Everyone was thinking about their own interests. Each one was more interesting than the other. Chen Fan waited for nearly half an hour and treated Su Yun to 3 glasses of beer. Finally, Zhao Zihu appeared. Zhao Zihu came to the small bar and saw Su Yun at first glance. Chen Fan got up and walked to Zhao Zihu's side. Su Yun shook the beer glass in his hand generously. Mr. Zhao, right? Come, have a seat. What do you want to talk to me about? Zhao Zihu smiled. He couldn't figure out Su Yun's thoughts at all, so Zhao Zihu was still very cautious. Don't be so restrained, Su Yun said. Just treat it as your own home and sit anywhere you want. Without waiting for Zhao Zihu to speak, Su Yun said, Right, let me introduce myself. I'm Su Yun. Chapter 26:45. Zhao Zihu sat across from Su Yun. Mr. Su, you really are a dragon among men and a red rabbit among horses. You really have an extraordinary temperament. You didn't come here to flatter me, did you? Su Yun smiled. If you want me to flatter you, then you found the wrong person. I don't know how to say such nice things. You're thinking too much. I came to see you because I want to make a deal with you, Zhao Zihu said bluntly. Su Yun nodded. In my opinion, there's nothing to trade between us, right? No, of course there's something between us. If you can make a deal with Tao Yinan, then you can make a deal with me as well, Zhao Zihu said. I believe that Tao Yinan didn't come here to make friends with you. Su Yun smiled. So it was Tao Yinan who provoked your people. Don't blame me for that, Zhao Zihu said. I just didn't want to get myself involved in trouble. Besides, Tao Yinan knew that my people were following her, but she still went to Sky Entertainment Group. So you're saying that she deliberately led you to me? Su Yun said. Zhao Zihu smiled. Of course, Tao Yinan is a smart person. She knows what benefits she can get from what she does. Su Yun, but I don't see how it benefits her. Of course you don't understand the benefits she thinks it will bring. Zhao Zihu smiled. Tell me, why do you think there's a deal between Tao Yinan and me, and why do you think I'll make a deal with you? Su Yun said, a person who can't stand any provocation might really need to figure out a problem. Why am I sitting here talking to you? Because I have value to you. Zhao Zihu said, Mr. Su, don't be so direct. I just think that there should be some communication between us. I know very well why you came to Qingdao. Please believe me, I'm very clear about that, Su Yun said. So, we can't be friends. I also ask you to believe me. I definitely didn't come here to get involved in this mess. Zhao Zihu said, I promise, I won't do anything that you don't want me to do. Su Yun was stunned. After all this time, this Zhao Zihu was just a coward who took the initiative to show weakness? Zhao Zihu didn't come here to guarantee Su Yun. He was worried about Zhua Lengyue behind Su Yun. She was the one he didn't dare to provoke. Su Yun sneered. This was interesting. He was afraid that Zhao Zihu was not the only one with such thoughts. I haven't let any of my subordinates show their faces since I came to Guqin Island. Zhao Zihu said, if you want to harm Jiang Zishue, I will not make a move, so I hope that we can reach a deal. Su Yun knew what kind of deal Zhao Zihu wanted. I won't offend people if they don't offend me. We will mind our own business. Zhao Zihu said, this is the deal I want. It's very fair, isn't it? I don't see it, Su Yun said. Zhao Zihu said, my men won't be involved in this matter, which will reduce a lot of pressure for you. You should feel lucky. You are the beneficiary of this deal. The beneficiary isn't me, but you. Su Yun said, you know very well that even if your Zhao family doesn't make a move, Jiang Zishue won't be able to escape. So, you can completely exclude yourself. If you didn't have confidence in them, you wouldn't have come here to tell me this. You are worried about whether the Empress will blame the Zhao family after Jiang Zishue's death. Zhao Zihu didn't deny it. I can admit to all that you have said, but if I don't participate, it might be a good thing for you. At least, your chances of winning will be higher. The current 6 great families were really disharmonious. Tao Yinan was the first to withdraw, and now, Zhao Zihu wanted to withdraw as well. The 2 most insightful people had already withdrawn from this matter. Would the remaining people still make a move? Even if Jiang Zixue was placed in front of them, perhaps no one would dare to make a move. They didn't care about what kind of ending Jiang Zixue would have. They only cared about what kind of ending they would have after making a move on Jiang Zixue. I don't care what kind of situation you are in now. I only want you to have nothing to do with me after this matter is over. Zhao Zihu said, "It's that simple. If you think this deal is suitable, then let's have a drink. Even if we can't be considered friends, we can be considered partners." Su Yun nodded. "Yes, partners. But if people from the other great families know about this matter, will they be angry? If you don't say anything about this matter, only heaven and earth will know." Zhao Zihu said, "No one will know. It seems that you still have a lot of trust in your people." Su Yun smiled slightly and looked at Chen Fan provocatively. Zhao Zihu said, "I know my people best. You don't have to worry about this at all. What you have to think about is how to solve the problem in front of you. After all, what I can help you is to stay out of it. So, I can only bless you." Su Yun smiled slightly. "Of course. Can we raise our cups together?" Zhao Zihu asked. Su Yun smiled. "As long as you don't participate, no one will make things difficult for you. I hope you can do it. I am a person with a brain. I know what to do." Zhao Zihu pointed to his head with his finger. "Trust me." Su Yun stood up. "Then you guys drink slowly. I hope we don't meet again. If we meet again, it won't be a good thing." "Of course." Zhao Zihu said, "Mr. Su is a reasonable person." Also, before Su Yun left, he said, "I don't want your people to harass the people around me. If I know that your people are still following me or the people around me, then our deal will be automatically cancelled." Zhao Zihu was stunned for a moment and immediately nodded. "Of course, no problem. As long as it is your request, I will do it." Su Yun smiled slightly. Happy cooperation. When Su Yun left quickly, he rushed home immediately. He wanted to ensure that nothing happened at home. Chen Fan also turned on the intercom under Zhao Zihu's signal and informed Ah Qi. "Evacuate immediately." Ah Qi didn't understand. "What happened?" "I suspect that Jiang Zixue is here. If there is nothing else, I will apply to stay in." "Evacuate immediately." Chen Fan confirmed again. Ah Qi didn't say anything else and nodded. "Yes." After everything was settled, Chen Fan said to Zhao Zihu, "Ah Qi said that he suspects that Jiang Zixue is in Su Yun's house. It doesn't matter where she is. It has nothing to do with us." Zhao Zihu said, "Tao Yinan is in charge of the investigation. All of them are in charge of the work. We are just playing along and going through the motions." Chen Fan didn't say anything else. "Then do we really do what we agreed on just now?" "Of course, we have to keep our word." Zhao Zihu said. "If we don't keep our word, how can we survive in this society?" Chen Fan didn't say anything else. He was still very unhappy with Su Yun. This made him feel uncomfortable. If there was a chance to make Su Yun suffer, he might feel more comfortable in his heart. "Let's go. Let's go back. I want to see what Tao Yinan plans to do next." Zhao Zihu said, "She also wants to stay out of it." "Hey. But how is that possible?" Chapter 2646. Tao Yinan didn't stay idle for the next 3 days. She asked the others to arrange their men to spy on Sky Entertainment Group. The purpose was to put pressure on Su Yun and let Su Yun know that his current situation was not a joke. As long as Su Yun felt a sense of crisis, he would definitely abide by the agreement between them. In order to make things more interesting, Zhao Zihu led several families to Hua Xia's men. Soon, all the people around Su Yun were replaced. 3 days were enough for them to find flaws and determine Su Yun's residence. Clearly, they had managed to do so. They had finally located Jiang Zixue's hiding place. Li Zhang was the most anxious person now. The sooner they finished this matter, the sooner they could leave this place. When Tao Yinan gathered everyone to discuss again, he was the first to stand up. Jiang Zixue is 90% likely to be in the two-story villa in that community. What are we waiting for now? Li Zheng said bluntly. Zhao Zihu looked at Tao Yinan while tasting the wine. He wanted to see how she would answer Li Zheng's question. Wait for time. Tao Yinan said slowly, I know you are anxious, but let me tell you, I am even more anxious than you are. Haste makes waste. Chen Zheng said, let's wait slowly. There needs to be time. Zhou Xuanqing said. Yes, we have been watching him for 3 days. I believe he will be aware of something. Sun Haoming said, if he makes a move before we make a move, then we are really going to be dumbfounded. Tao Yinan said, don't worry, it won't happen. That place is the safest place for Jiang Zixue on Qingdao. They won't be stupid enough to send her away from the safest place. I don't care about that. I only care about when we will make a move. Li Zheng said. Tonight at 12. Tao Yinan's sudden answer startled Li Zheng. He didn't expect Jiang Zixue to agree so quickly. It was completely beyond his expectations. Facing this answer, Li Zheng was speechless because he didn't seem to be ready. Isn't it too hasty? Zhao Zihu finally spoke. Hearing Zhao Zihu's words, Li Zheng also said, yeah, isn't it a little too rushed? You should know that we haven't made any preparations yet. Do you still need to prepare anything? Tao Yinan said, I don't think we need any preparation. What we need is a sudden. Li Zheng swallowed his saliva. With so many of us attacking Su Yun's house, I don't believe that he will be able to react, Tao Yinan said. This way, we will definitely win. Well said, we need a surprise attack. Zhao Zihu said, I agree. He couldn't wait to agree, because he really wanted to know how Tao Yinan was going to escape. If she couldn't escape, then things would become very interesting. I also support it. Sun Haoming said, a long night with many dreams, this reason is too simple. Then I have no objections. Chen Zhang said, let's finish the matters here as soon as possible. I still have to go back and busy myself with other business matters. Seeing that everyone was saying the same thing, Zhou Xuanqing obviously didn't want to go against them. Alright, let's do it tonight. Tao Yinan's gaze fell on Li Zheng. What about you? Are you satisfied with this arrangement? Satisfied, of course I'm satisfied. Li Zheng said, today it is. Then tell us the specific arrangements. Specific arrangements? Tao Yinan said, do we still need any specific arrangements? What we need to do is to bring out all our strength. Su Yun is definitely not alone. I need everyone's help. This way, I can give my people a chance to carry out the final blow to Jiang Zixue. Li Zheng didn't say anything. He didn't know if Tao Yinan was telling the truth or not, but one thing was certain. If her people didn't carry out the final blow, no one would do it. Seeing that Li Zheng didn't have any objections, Tao Yinan decided. At midnight, we will gather in the hotel lobby and set off together. Okay, everyone said. If there's nothing else, then let's all have a good rest and conserve our energy, Tao Yinan said. The following waiting time was very unbearable for Tao Yinan. She was still not sure whether Su Yun would appear on time. If he didn't appear on time, she would be pushed into a situation where she couldn't get out of the situation. Tao Tianyi was also waiting for Tao Yinan to change her plan. However, as time passed, Tao Yinan still had no intention of changing her plan. Seeing that the sky was completely dark, the starless sky was covered with dark clouds, and there was no wind at all. The whole air seemed particularly dull and oppressive. Tonight was bound to be a sleepless night. Su Yun had actually been waiting. 12 o'clock tonight was the time he and Tao Yinan had agreed to meet. He knew that place was a dragon's pool and a tiger's den. He was very clear about how dangerous it was. Brother, if you want to go, I will go with you, Lin Gu said. He was also worried about Su Yun going out like this. I can do it myself. You should stay here, Su Yun. I don't know why, but I keep feeling that something is wrong. Lin Gu said, I don't feel good either, so I really don't feel at ease letting you go alone. If Tao Yinan really dared to do something to me, she wouldn't have said this to me. Su Yun, don't worry, no matter what, they still have scruples. Lin Gu knew that it was useless to persuade him, so he could only give up. Brother, then you really have to be careful. Don't worry here, I'm here. Su Yun smiled. It's nothing. At least we still have the advantage now. The time was getting closer and closer. Finally, Su Yun stepped on the road to the Ocean Continental Hotel. At this moment, the people from the 6 families had also come to each corner of the hotel lobby. They didn't communicate with each other and were completely like strangers. At this time, everyone was nervous. This kind of behavior was very normal. When Tao Yinan appeared in the hotel lobby, everyone was fully prepared. At this moment, Su Yun's figure suddenly appeared in the hotel lobby. This time, everyone was dumbfounded. Why did Su Yun appear here? This was obviously not something they could accept. Tao Yinan was very gratified when she saw Su Yun, but she could only show a surprised look. Su Yun was also very vigilant against the guests, who were still in the hotel lobby in the middle of the night. He wasn't a fool. His sense of crisis was still very clear. Facing the current situation, Su Yun could only speed up his pace and walk straight to Tao Yinan. Miss Tao, where are you going so late at night? Su Yun asked with a smile. Tao Yinan whispered, if there's anything, come with me to the room. Su Yun smiled and made a gesture of invitation. Tao Yinan took the opportunity to walk back to the elevator. In the face of this sudden situation, the people from the other families were all dumbfounded. What should we do now? Zhao Zihu gritted his teeth and looked at the backs of the two. He really didn't expect that Tao Yinan could actually use Su Yun to let herself escape. Damn it, why didn't I think of this? What should we do? Li Zheng couldn't bear it. After seeing the two enter the elevator, he immediately got up and walked to Zhao Zihu. Has our plan been exposed? I'm afraid not, Zhao Zihu said. At this time, Tao Qianni stood up and walked to the front of the 5 major families. He showed the phone to the 5 of them. It was sent by Tao Yinan. Unexpected situation. I will delay Su Yun. You continue with the operation. She didn't participate in the operation. This made the people present a little uncomfortable. But then again, what could she do if she didn't participate? The matter wouldn't be affected at all, and Tao Yinan also gave herself the most reasonable excuse, delay Su Yun. What other excuse could be better than this? Fortunately, Tao Qianni was still there. The person who executed the fatal blow to Jiang Zixue was still there. This might be the best comfort for them now. This is really too much of a coincidence. Zhao Zihu smiled slightly and said, at this time, Su Yun came. This is also something that can't be helped. No one expected it. Tao Qianni said, at this point, we can only act. Li Zheng glanced at Tao Qianni. You don't have the right to speak here. We know clearly in our hearts whether to continue the operation or not. You just need to be prepared to carry out your mission. Tao Qianni didn't say anything more. He bowed his head and left. What should they do next? Li Zheng and Zhou Xuanqing looked at each other. Chen Zhang and Sun Haoming's eyes were also focused on Zhao Zihu. Now, the final decision was whether to do it or not. Go or not, you guys decide. Zhao Zihu said. If they didn't go, the Tao family would have a reason to despise them. This was the most unpleasant point. In the end, the other 4 people decided to go. At this point, was there any way out? Moreover, Su Yun was not here right now. To them, this was the best opportunity that they could get. Chapter 2647. Regardless of whether Tao Yinan's restraint on Su Yun was meaningful or not, it was inevitable for them to take action. Tao Qianni had lost his last hope. Even the people from the 5 major families didn't want to give up on this matter. Other than biting the bullet, what else could he do? Forget it, so be it. At this moment, Tao Qianni had thought it through. No matter what, the current situation couldn't be changed. If it wasn't for the Tao family's rescue and shelter, he would have died many years ago. He had lived for so long. Now that he returned this life to the Tao family, it could be said that he didn't let them down. After the people from the 5 major families made their decision, they left the hotel one after another and surrounded Su Yun's house from 3 directions. At this time, Su Yun had been brought to Tao Yinan's room by her. He didn't think that they would take action like this today. Have a seat. What do you want to drink? Tao Yinan smiled slightly. Anything. Su Yun sat down and said absent-mindedly. After all, the sense of crisis was very strong. Su Yun couldn't be so relaxed all the time. Tao Yinan said, "Then drink with me." "As long as you dare to drink, I dare to drink." Su Yun said, "Miss Tao, there are so many people downstairs. I believe that you didn't arrange it, but don't worry. As long as you are with me, even if the 5 major families want to, they won't have the guts," Tao Yinan said. Su Yun snorted. "Recently, your people have been following me. After all, Jiang Zixue is in your hands." Tao Yinan said, "It's normal for them to be interested in you. I can't control them." "Then what's your plan?" Su Yun asked. Tao Yinan shrugged. "What kind of plan can there be? You're on high alert now, and you know that we're not on the same page. We're all thinking about our own interests, so no one will take the initiative to do anything." Su Yun smiled. "It seems like you know what your people are thinking. Miss Tao, since things have already happened, we can't just ignore it. What do you think?" "What can I think? I can only try my best to stall for time," Tao Yinan said. "You know what I mean. I'm still not sure." Su Yun said, "If you really don't want the Tao family to continue being trapped in this mess, then you should think of a way to escape instead of wasting your time in Huaxia." Tao Yinan smiled bitterly. "Please, aren't you thinking too simply? If I could get out of this so easily, I wouldn't have come to Huaxia at all. I was forced to do so. I couldn't go back at all. So there will be a result sooner or later?" Su Yun asked. Tao Yinan shook her head helplessly. "I don't know, and I don't want to think too much about it. But I definitely won't bring trouble to myself." "If you want to be on guard, then be on guard against them." "On guard against them?" Su Yun was stunned. "Miss Tao, you're not trying to lure the tiger away from the mountain today, right?" "How is that possible?" Tao Yinan was nervous. Su Yun was really too vigilant. She had to find a way to divert his attention as soon as possible. "If I wanted to lure the tiger away from the mountain, why are there so many people from the 5 families downstairs? Am I purposely letting you see? You're thinking too much." Su Yun didn't know that this was all carefully planned by Tao Yinan. If the 5 families wanted to make a move, they would definitely hide and not let him see. This was the situation that should have happened. However, it was the exact opposite now. This was all deliberately arranged by Tao Yinan to lower Su Yun's vigilance. "Then what plan are you going to tell me today?" Su Yun asked. "It's about your plan. Recently, they've been investigating you," Tao Yinan said. "Believe me, I don't need to say more. You should know that they more or less have some understanding of your situation." Su Yun nodded and motioned for Tao Yinan to continue. "But they're also worried, just like me," Tao Yinan said. "Right now, no one has the courage." "Then everyone is going to stay on Guqin Island for the rest of their lives?" Su Yun asked. Tao Yinan shook her head. "No, I think the most likely person to harm you right now is Zhao Zihu." Su Yun thought. He had met Zhao Zihu before. This person was the most shrewd and scheming person among them. Perhaps Zhao Zihu was the one who wanted to harm him the most, but he was also the one who didn't dare to harm Su Yun the most. The more shrewd and scheming a person was, the more likely they were to use someone else to kill someone. They definitely wouldn't be stupid enough to rush to the front. "Why the Zhao family?" Su Yun asked. "Because Zhao Zihu urgently needs to do something to establish his position in our 6 great clans. Right now, this is an opportunity. Although it's a little difficult, I believe he's still willing to take the risk. Su Yun didn't say anything. He wanted to hear what Tao Yinan could say to persuade him. Besides, he's the only one who doesn't have any subordinates following him, Tao Yinan said. His people must be in the dark, so you must be on guard against him now. Thank you. Su Yun smiled and nodded. But I think that he doesn't even dare to let his subordinates show up. On the contrary, he doesn't want to have anything to do with the Jiang family, right? Tao Yinan was startled. She didn't understand why Su Yun said that. No matter what, I still have to thank Miss Tao for your reminder, Su Yun said. I'm not joking, Tao Yinan said. I believe I know each of them better than you do. Su Yun nodded. That's natural. Seeing that Su Yun wasn't falling for her trap, Tao Yinan felt a little anxious. Miss Tao, I believe that you didn't ask me to come here to talk about such trivial matters, right? Su Yun said, It's already been 3 days. You guys should have more or less formed a prototype of some plan, right? I came here to listen to this plan, and not to talk about these trivial matters that I'm guessing. Tao Yinan realized that Su Yun already had a very strong sense of vigilance and crisis. She was worried that Su Yun would think too much. Once he thought too much, it might ruin their plan today. The only thing she could do now was to distract Su Yun and make Su Yun not think about their matters. Only in this way could she guide and control Su Yun. Actually, I asked you to come here today for another purpose, Tao Yinan said as she walked toward Su Yun. Su Yun was startled. Miss Tao, I remember that we made it very clear that we're doing this for our own interests. I'm not interested in what other purposes you have. Tao Yinan smiled charmingly. No, you'll definitely be interested. All men will be interested. Just as Su Yun was confused, Tao Yinan suddenly took off her top and shoulders. When half of her soft breasts were exposed, it was extremely enchanting. Su Yun was a little confused. This woman was really interesting. At first, Tao Yinan was quite resistant when she saw him, but now she suddenly became so proactive. Could it be that it was really true that people in their 30s were like wolves in their 30s and tigers in their 40s? Tao Yinan was in her 30s and couldn't hold back her 30s. So after coming to Qingdao for so long and suppressing herself for so long, it was time for her to let out her inner desire? No. It shouldn't be. Su Yun thought to himself. This kind of high-end hotel didn't lack this kind of service. Men could find women, and women could find men. There were many lonely rich women who went to 5-star hotels to spend money to find a boy toy service. Tao Yinan was a rich woman. It was too easy for her to solve this kind of problem. She didn't need to hold herself back so hard. She was so miserable that she had to find an opponent to help her solve her personal physiological problem. This was too unrealistic. There must be something wrong with it. Su Yun's brain was still very clear at this moment. Although he didn't have much contact with Tao Yinan, he could clearly see what kind of woman Tao Yinan was. This woman was obviously a master of psychological warfare. She knew where a woman's advantages were and where a man's disadvantages were. She was seducing Su Yun now, so she must have her unspeakable secret. Otherwise, she wouldn't show her breasts to Su Yun. Chapter 26:48. Su Yun smiled and said, Miss Tao, I don't know if you've seen a movie called Lust, Caution. Tao Yinan shook her head and said, I'm not interested in Hua Xia's movies at all. There are all kinds of bans and restrictions. It's boring. This movie is the kind that's been banned. Su Yun, the story is very simple. It's about a female university student who uses her beauty to get close to a traitor and attempt to assassinate him. Tao Yinan was stunned. She suddenly realized that Su Yun's words had a deeper meaning. Of course, I'm not a traitor, and Miss Tao is not a female university student. Su Yun smiled. But I don't know why I thought of this movie. You're thinking too much. Tao Yinan said, Actually, you don't have to think so much. Su Yun smiled. You know, I can guess the beginning of this movie, but not the ending. When the female university student successfully seduces the traitor and is about to take action, she realizes that she has fallen in love with him. So, she leaks information so that the traitor can escape. In the end, the traitor kills all of them. Tao Yinan didn't say anything. She was silent. She didn't know what Su Yun was trying to say. But it didn't matter. As long as Su Yun could be distracted, it was enough for Tao Yinan. I've never understood. How can a patriotic young woman fall in love with a traitor who is cruel to her and treats her like a plaything? Su Yun, this isn't human nature at all. It's complete nonsense. Tao Yinan said, isn't this the effect the movie wants? It wants people to see a different kind of human nature in the movie. Deformed human nature. Su Yun, is this what the director wants to express? When a woman falls in love, that's love, Tao Yinan said. You can see the person you love just by watching this movie. You must have a profound understanding of love. It's too noble and tasteful, Su Yun said. Without waiting for Tao Yinan to speak, Su Yun changed the topic. I saw something different in it. I didn't see the love described in the movie, but I saw the purpose described in the movie. Tao Yinan took a deep breath. She seemed to have realized what Su Yun wanted to say. Yes, that's the purpose. Su Yun said, some women are willing to do anything in order to achieve their goals. Even if they have to sacrifice their bodies, they won't hesitate. Tao Yinan had already taken off half of her clothes. Because of Su Yun's words, she was completely frozen in place. She knew very well that Su Yun's words were meant for her to hear. However, Tao Yinan had already decided to do something. How could she stop? She didn't believe that any man could resist this kind of temptation. In Tao Yinan's eyes, all men were the same. They were like cats and dogs that ate fish. There was no real principle at all. He had principles because he didn't have the chance. If he had the chance, a man who still had principles didn't exist in this world. At the same time, Tao Tianyi had led the men from the 5 great families to completely surround Su Yun's house. All experts felt a sense of crisis. Lin Gu, Chou Yun, and Jie Wen could no longer sit still. They felt uneasy. As for why, no one could tell. They thought that perhaps it was because of Su Yun that they were so uneasy. However, Zhua Meiyan was also feeling uneasy. She felt that things weren't that simple. Su Yun usually did too many dangerous things. She had long gotten used to it. In the past, she wouldn't have felt so uneasy. But now, she felt the same. She had a vague feeling that something big was going to happen tonight. Because of this uneasiness, no one could sleep. Very quickly, they realized that their sixth sense wasn't wrong. When Tao Tianyi had led the 5 great clans into their homes, they had quickly sensed danger. Chou Yun was the first to stand up. Lin Gu and Jie Wen followed closely behind. Zhua Meiyan wasn't in a hurry to make a decision. Instead, she quickly woke up Bai Xiaoye and Jiang Zixue, who didn't feel any sense of crisis. Although Bai Xiaoye was also an expert and was Zhua Langyue's daughter, she didn't encounter too many dangerous situations under Zhua Langyue's protection. Therefore, she was still lacking in terms of alertness. As for Jiang Zixue, she had selective amnesia. She didn't even know that she was an expert. After the children of the great families were born, they would be taught by their masters. Martial cultivation was an essential part of their education. Especially since the 7-star radiants belonged to the 7 great families of the underground world. They knew what strength represented. Strength represented authority. The harder one's fist was, the more things one could obtain. If one's fist wasn't strong enough, how could one have a foothold? Which of the 7 great families of the 7-star radiants didn't rely on their fists to fight for the world? Unfortunately, Jiang Zixue had completely forgotten what it meant to be an expert. She felt helpless even when she was bullied by the gangsters in the film studio, let alone the experts from the 5 great families. You two stay in the room obediently. Don't act rashly. Zhua Meiyan said, Xiaoye, you must look after her. Bai Xiaoye nodded. She would definitely do it. This wasn't just her brother's responsibility. It was also her mother's request. Therefore, she had to persevere no matter what. What the hell is going on? Jiang Zixue knew that she was getting closer to the truth. The more her memories surged, the more pain and struggle she felt. You don't have to think about anything now. Do what you should do. Bai Xiaoye said, stay here with me. They will deal with the matters outside. Jiang Zixue knew that the other party was here for her. Right now, Zhua Meiyan, Chou Yun, Lin Gu, and Jie Wan, who had been arranged to protect her at home for the past 3 days, were all out facing the enemy. However, she could only hide in the room. This feeling made Jiang Zixue feel extremely guilty. I'm a little scared. I'm really scared. Jiang Zixue murmured. You have us. Don't worry. As long as we're here, no one can hurt you, Bai Xiaoye said. Jiang Zixue shook her head. I'm not afraid of getting hurt, but I really don't want you to get hurt because of me. I don't want to continue like this. I'll go out now. I'll go with them. I can't implicate you guys anymore. What nonsense are you talking about? Bai Xiaoye said, let me tell you. Even if I'm alone, I won't throw you to those people. But we're neither relatives nor friends. We've only known each other for a short period of time. You guys don't have to pay such a huge price for me. Jiang Zixue said. Bai Xiaoye smiled slightly. Perhaps they've only known you for a short period of time, but I'm different. I've known you for more than 10 years. Jiang Zixue was stunned. They knew each other? But why didn't she remember? Zhua Langyue is my mother, Bai Xiaoye said. Jiang Zixue opened her mouth wide in disbelief. When did the Empress have a daughter? Why didn't she know? Could it be that her memory was so fragmented? But at that time, Bai Xiaoye and Zhua Langyue hadn't acknowledged each other. They were still master and disciple. Even so, Jiang Zixue couldn't remember Zhua Langyue having a disciple. Bai Xiaoye heaved a sigh of relief. Your memory will come back sooner or later. It's okay, don't worry. Even Auntie Zhua doesn't have to keep helping me. Everything is meaningless, right? Jiang Zixue said. I don't want to live this life of hiding anymore. We'll get through it, Bai Xiaoye said firmly. When Zhua Meiyan walked out of the room and into the courtyard, the 4 of them formed a square with their backs against each other. However, more and more people appeared in their field of vision. From the beginning, there were only 3 to 5 people. Now, there were 14 people. Every one of them looked extraordinary. Hiss. Even the experienced and knowledgeable Lin Gu and the battle-hardened Jie Su couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. When Chou Yen saw these people, she once again felt the pressure of fighting for her life. Zhua Meiyan remained silent. She had thought that it would be a fierce battle, but she had not expected it to be this bad. 14 experts against the 4 of them? Even if Bai Xiaoye and Jiang Zixue were included, they only had 6 people. How could they contend against the enemy? Chapter 2649. Both sides were in a stalemate, and the 6 great clans had an absolute advantage. Tao Qianni was very clear that today's mission was bound to succeed. Success meant that he had to use his death to avoid responsibility for the Tao family. Thinking of this, Tao Qianni lost his mood. These people were going to die, and if they died, he would die too. It was ridiculous to plan his death while completing the mission. The others were obviously in a better mood. This wasn't a fierce battle at all, and they had an absolute advantage. Everyone present was a super expert, and some of them were even close to breaking through to the profound world realm. On their side, other than Lin Gu and Jie Su, who were close to the profound world realm, Zhua Meiyan and Chou Yun were only super experts of the 7th or 8th level. Although Bai Xiaoye was Zhua Langyue's daughter, she was only close to the profound world realm. Of course, this was already extremely rare, and they were all super experts. There were only 14 people from the 6 great clans, but 4 of them were above the 7th level of the supreme power realm. The weakest one was at the 9th level of the Supreme Power Realm, just like Bai Xiaoye, who was close to breaking through the bottleneck of the Supreme Power Realm. Lin Guo was very clear about their current situation. There was no chance of winning. Jie Su had experienced so many things in the Heaven's Eye, but he had never encountered such a dangerous situation. Even when they were confronting Su Yun on Great Bend Island, they weren't in such a situation. This time, he realized that death was right in front of them, and they didn't have any chance of survival. To be honest, Jie Su came to work for Su Yun entirely out of consideration for Chong Mo and the others. Now that things had come to this, he was somewhat unwilling to be in such a dangerous situation because of someone he had no relationship with. However, since he came to work for Su Yun, he had already made the necessary preparations. Zhua Meiyan's expression was also very ugly. She didn't care, and she wasn't afraid of death, but she really didn't want Su Yun to be in such trouble. That damned Zhua Lengyue. At this moment, Zhua Meiyan couldn't care less about the Empress. In her opinion, this trouble was caused by Zhua Lengyue. If Zhua Lengyue didn't arrange for Jiang Zixue to work for Su Yun, this situation wouldn't have happened. Everyone had to be buried with her. Who would be willing? Why must you be like this? So many people being so aggressive towards a girl, this is too much. The dignified confrontation was broken by a shout. Ruan Qingxuang actually walked out of the door and directly walked towards the other party. Lin Gu was shocked, and Chou Yun almost screamed. They didn't let Ruan Qingxuang come out, but she still came out. She was the only person here who didn't have any ability to protect herself. Any one of them could easily kill her. Moreover, she was the most important person to Su Yun. If it weren't for Ruan Qingxuang, Su Yun wouldn't have survived the calamity back then. He might have died from his inner demons when he was breaking through the bottleneck. Almost everyone felt that they could die today, and Jiang Zixue could be taken away or killed, but the only one who couldn't be harmed was Ruan Qingxuang. Ruan Qingxuang's appearance clearly surprised the other party. A woman whose strength couldn't be detected from her aura actually dared to question them like this. Looks like Director Su's luck with women isn't bad. Zhao Zihu smiled slightly. In this kind of situation, there are still so many women willing to stand up and die for him. His life is really worth it. Li Zhang snorted. What kind of future can a man who only lives for women have? I think you guys overestimate him. If it were up to me, I would have taken action long ago. Hee hee. It's not like you're going to deal with Jiang Zixue. Of course you dare to say such things. Zhao Zihu said disapprovingly. Chen Zhang went straight to the point. This matter is our 7-star Radiance's internal matter. It has nothing to do with you guys. If you hand over Jiang Zixue, we might let you live today. A group of men, don't you feel embarrassed? Zhua Meiyan snorted. You're bullying us because our men aren't here. Otherwise, would you dare to be so arrogant? Ha ha ha, I'm afraid your men have already fallen between our Miss Tao's breasts and crotch. Zhou Xuanqing said, otherwise, why would we leave you guys here without asking? Lin Gu spat. Don't F***king bullshit. You guys are really despicable. Luring the tiger away from the mountain. Humph. Do you think that because my brother isn't here, you can escape unscathed? Kid. Be more polite when you speak. Sun Haoming said, it's Su Yun who delivered himself to our door. Lin Gu would never give in. Su Yun's matter was his matter. He would have no regrets even if he died in battle. If you want to take Jiang Zixue away today, at least go through me first. Lin Gu said, if you're not afraid of death, then come and try. Even if I die, I'll drag a few more down with me. Young people really don't think things through. Zhao Zihu said, is it worth it to do this for someone who has nothing to do with you? At this point, Jie Su was indeed wavering. Was it worth it to do this for a woman who had nothing to do with them? Whether they fought or compromised today, the end result would be the same. Jiang Zixue would not be able to escape. If we hand her over, will you leave immediately? Jie Su asked. Of course. Chen Zheng did not want to be a busybody. As long as she handed Jiang Zixue over for Tao Tianyi to kill on the spot, the matter would be over. Lin Gu glared at Jie Su. What nonsense are you spouting? Have you forgotten what you're doing here? If you're so afraid of death, you can leave now. I don't want an unprincipled person like you to stay by my side and help me. I'm not afraid of death. Jie Su said, what do you think we can change in the end? Lin Gu was stunned. In the end, we can't protect Miss Jiang. Jie Su said, and you, me, and all of them, will die. All of them. These words were like a sharp knife that pierced Lin Ji's heart. He was not afraid of death. Moreover, Jie Su was not the kind of person who was afraid of death. What about Sister Qing Shuang? And Sister Chou Yun? And Zhuo Meiyan? And even Bai Xiaoye? Every one of them was so important to Su Yun. Just because he was swayed by his emotions, he would fight to the end? Fight to the point that he would even watch them die one by one with his own eyes. Would he be able to face Su Yun if that happened? Of course, he would be sorry. He, Lin Gu, was a man. If he could not protect so many important people around Brother Yun, he would not be able to rest in peace even if he died. Jie Ji's words were like a stab to everyone's heart. This was the truth. It was not that Jie Su was afraid of death. Since Jie Su dared to follow Su Yun, he was not afraid of these things. If he could exchange his life for everyone's peace by sacrificing himself, Jie Su wouldn't even hesitate to exchange his life for Jiang Zishua's. He stood by Su Yun's side because he wanted to do his best for Su Yun. He wanted Chong Mo and the others to be taken care of in the Dragon Brigade. He wanted them to really integrate into the brigade. His death would make Su Yun feel guilty towards him. If Su Yun could use this guilt on Chong Mo and the others, then his death today would be worth it. Unfortunately, his death could not be exchanged for anything. A wise man submits to circumstances. Zhao Zihu said, I think you are a very sensible person. Jie Su clenched his fists tightly. He really did not know what he should do. I wonder how much CEO Su can pay you every year for you to work for him. Zhao Zihu said, I'll give you double. If you follow me to the Zhao family, I guarantee you will get more benefits. Glory, wealth, money, women, I can give you all. Jie Su didn't even bother to look at these things. Lin Gu gritted his teeth. If it wasn't for the serious consequences of making a move and implicating Ruan Qingshuang and the others, he would have killed this guy without hesitation. He would make him his scapegoat. I'm sorry, he is just a security guard in Sky Entertainment. His monthly salary is only 5,000. Zhuo Meiyan snorted, Our family's Su Yun is not like you, who can only use money to hire a group of dogs. Our family's Su Yun wins people over with virtue, using personal charm. Zhao Zihu's mouth twitched. This woman's mouth was really vicious. He really wanted to tear her apart and see if she still dared to mock him. Chapter 2650. Lin Gu felt very satisfied. He looked down on this kind of guy who only knew how to show off with money. Yes, charisma. Do you have it? Lin Gu said proudly, Sorry, you don't. You only have some rotten money. Without money, you are a fart. Zhao Zihu gritted his teeth and said, Then what are you? If you don't obediently be my grandson today, I will let you die in my hands. I will kill you personally. Ha, okay, try it. Lin Gu stared and said, If I die today, you must be buried with me. Sun Haoming couldn't help but scold, What a dog who doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Ruan Qingshuang shouted, Enough. So many of you came to bully a girl? If you really have the guts, then arrange a person to come out and compete with our people. If we lose, we will hand her over to you. If we win, you will leave here immediately. You can't harass Jiang Zishue anymore. Silence. After a moment of silence, it triggered the ruthless ridicule of the other party. Naive. It was really too naive. Did they think they were fools? What was the purpose of so many of them coming here? Wasn't it to make them obedient with an overwhelming advantage? They actually said one-on-one, ha ha ha, what a joke. Only an idiot would agree to her proposal. Li Zhang snorted, even if it's one-on-one, you have no chance of winning. Do you really think we are vegetarians? Besides, why do we have to go one-on-one? Unless we are idiots, unless our brains are flooded with water, why should we agree to your naive proposal? Zhuo Meiyan shook her head helplessly. No wonder Su Yun would put Ruan Qingxuang in such an important position in his heart. It was because she was so stupid and so naive. She was so naive that she even thought that everything in this world must be carried out under fairness. However, this was simply impossible. You are despicable. Ruan Qingxuang thought of all the vicious words in her mind. In the end, she could only use the word despicable to describe them. So what if we're despicable? Zhou Xuanqing said, do you think that we're giving you face by not doing anything? Let me tell you, we're not giving you face, nor are we giving face to Su Yun. You're on your own now. Don't think I don't know who you're afraid of. At this time, Bai Xiaoye also came out of the house. She failed to appease Jiang Zixue. Seeing that Jiang Zixue was so agitated that she insisted on seeking death, Bai Xiaoye directly knocked her out with a karate chop. Seeing another girl come out, Zhao Zihu's eyes lit up. It was said that Su Yun had luck with women, and Su Yun really did have luck with women. You are afraid of the Empress, Zhua. Cold. Moon. Bai Xiaoye enunciated each word clearly. The name Zhua Langyue was really useful in the underground world. Even though it was just mentioned, it could still shock people. For a moment, no one from the 6 great clans dared to speak out. They didn't even have the thought of saying that they weren't afraid of Zhua Langyue. After all, she was the leader of the 3 sovereigns. Who would be foolish enough to say that they weren't convinced by her? Wouldn't that be seeking trouble for themselves? Not to mention that Zhua Langyue wouldn't be calculative with these small fries. She only needed to wave her hand and say that whoever she wanted to die, and the 5 war gods would come out and give that person 100 ways to die. If all of you die, so what if she's the Empress? No matter how powerful she is, she can't possibly kill all of us, right? Tao Tianyi finally opened his mouth after keeping silent for a long time. He had to kill all of these people. Otherwise, it would be meaningless for him to die after killing Jiang Zixue. Someone would still tell Zhua Langyue that Jiang Zixue's death was directly related to the Tao family. Therefore, everything that Zhao Zihu and the rest had said just now was bullshit to Tao Tianyi. Even if they had taken the initiative to hand over Jiang Zixue, he would definitely make the other 5 families join him in exterminating everyone present here. At that time, even Su Yun and the rest wouldn't be let off. Die. All of them had to die. At this moment, Tao Tianyi's mentality had become somewhat perverted. He wanted to make the most ridiculous sacrifice for this matter. Of course, he wanted as many people to die as possible. You guys are really crazy. Zhuo Meiyan sneered and said, You dare to kill anyone? The 6 great clans were now fearless. For you guys, we really dare to kill anyone. Li Zhang said without any trace of politeness. Zhuo Meiyan continued to sneer and said, Do you guys know who she is? We don't care who she is. Anyone who dares to stop us must die. Zhao Zihu also revealed his fangs. Sorry, I'm really worried that you guys are just bragging. Zhuo Meiyan said, She is the only daughter of Empress Zhua Langyue. Boom. These words really shocked the heavens. The only daughter of Empress Zhua Langyue. What a joke. When did Zhua Langyue have a daughter? This bragging was a bit too much. If she is the only daughter of Empress Zhua Langyue, then I can say that I'm her son. Sun Haoming said without thinking. How dare you? Bai Xiaoye was furious. It didn't matter if she was angry, but the domineering aura between her eyebrows was simply carved from the same mold as Empress Zhua Langyue. For a moment, everyone was silent. That kind of feeling really made one's heart palpitate. Zhuo Meiyan continued to use psychological warfare to delay the other party. This was the only right choice she could make now. Zhuo Meiyan was a smart person. She could guess what the other party was thinking and what they estimated. Hit the snake where it hurts. The only weakness these people had was their misgivings about Zhuo Langyue. No matter how powerful the 7 great clans of the underground world were, they had always been very respectful to the Empress. In the eyes of these juniors, Zhuo Langyue was definitely a legend. How could they not be afraid? What a joke, they were simply scared to death. If we die, you guys can just find a scapegoat to take the blame. But if Bai Xiaoye is hurt, Zhuo Meiyan didn't need to say the consequences. The consequences could be imagined by them and let them ponder over it. Imagining things was different from other feelings. It was like a school holding a parent-teacher conference. What did it feel like to be a bad student? They knew that they would be beaten when their parents returned. If they directly said that they were going to be beaten, they would feel better because they knew that they were going to be beaten. It was the kind of punishment that they were afraid of when they didn't know what they were going to face. Imagination could change too many things. If we are all dead, who knows who else is involved? Tao Qianni spoke again. You guys have already pushed all the blame to the Tao family. What are you guys afraid of? This guy's words really shocked everyone. One had to know that he was just a servant of the Tao family, yet he actually said something that the masters of the 5 great clans didn't dare to say. The Empress's daughter. How dare he kill her? Hiss. Just thinking about it made people feel a chill in their hearts. The consequences could be the extermination of their entire family. No one had seen the Empress flip out before. No one wanted to see such a situation. Tao Qianni wasn't afraid because all the consequences had nothing to do with him. After dealing with today's matter, he would choose death for his loyalty to the Tao family. Why would a person who was about to die care? He obviously didn't care at all. You are really a lunatic. Lin Gu frowned. He really didn't dare to believe that someone would say such words. Among the people that Lin Gu knew, the most impressive person was probably the commander of the Dragon Brigade, Wan Quangxiao. Even a person with hundreds and thousands of elite soldiers under his command, who was also a talented general of the country, had to give way to Zhuo Langyue. Although it might be because of Big Brother Yun's father, Su Chen, he still had to give way to her. But now, someone actually dared to directly say that he wanted to kill her daughter. Even if he ate 100 bear hearts and leopard guts, he wouldn't be able to do it, right? Zhao Zihu looked at Tao Qianni doubtfully. This guy actually dared to say such words? Could it be that the Tao family had other plans? One had to know that this wasn't on the same level as dealing with Jiang Zixue. If this Bai Xiaoye was really Zhuo Langyue's daughter, then the harm done to her might directly cause her to become a crazy empress. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.